This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station. KLAQ 95.5.
Seesaw swinging with the boys in the office, kicking back in the office chair, saying, hey, diddle, diddle, I couldn't give a fiddle if my boss sails will be over there. So we take a big chance and take a little glance to see if boss went away. We don't feel we'll survive if we stay until 5, so we need to make a quick escape. We're ready to walk Friday, talk Friday, leave early Friday, go walk Friday. Just give me a beer.
Turn it on, see if it works.
Newsflash! We interrupt this program. Good morning.
Good morning, world. It's a brand new day.
Friday, it's the weekend. TGIF, hooray.
It's Friday.
Work is done.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? It is Friday.
Work just started. I just started working.
Thank God it's Friday.
Wow.
How original.
I've never heard that one before.
What a fine day.
So when's the weekend?
Let's get it started in here. It's showtime, baby.
Broadcasting throughout West Texas. The Buzz Adams Morning Show.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to the morning show for this Friday. Yeah. Welcome to Friday. We got a lot coming up on the show. One of the candidates for El Paso Mayor, Brian Kennedy, is going to be dropping by later today. You might have gotten his mailer in the mail. Found out he used to be a bodyguard for Prince, a professional poker player, alligator wrestler. Man, it just goes on and on. But mayoral candidate Brian Kennedy is going to be coming by in the 7 o'clock hour. Also, a true crime report on the way. We'll get to that coming up in just about an hour. Joanna Barba. Good morning, Joanna.
Oh, good morning.
Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheese May in about an hour as well. So you want to give us a preview of what's coming up on the Hollywood Cheese May today?
Yeah, sure. Martha Stewart is spilling the tea in a new Martha Stewart documentary that is out now.
Called
It's
Martha.
on Netflix. It's called Martha. It's on Netflix. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It hits Netflix on October 30th, but the trailer is out, and everybody is loving the trailer, but especially the part where Martha admits to cheating. I love it.
You know, I think we could tease that. Just play since the audio is so great.
The audio is
Right.
great. Yeah.
She's given advice talking about her life, but she's given advice especially to young wives whose husbands cheat on them. But then listen to what an off-camera producer says, okay?
What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history? If there was ever the original influencer, it's Martha. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, get out of that marriage.
Didn't you have an affair early on?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that. I have 2 daughters. Learn something new every day. And
This is always you got to bring up the past. He didn't know about it.
Leave him. Once a cheater, always. Didn't you
Didn't you cheat early on?
Yeah, but Andy never
Yeah,
knew
but
about
he
it.
never knew.
If you don't get caught, it doesn't count. So Hollywood Cheese May on the way in about an hour. We're also going to have passes to the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror, which is open tonight with extended hours, 7 to midnight. Tomorrow night is also going to be 7 to midnight. And Sunday, we're going to be open Sunday, 7 to 10. And that is at the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror at 13900 Montana Boulevard. The location of Desert Warriors Paintball, but they're not going to shoot you with paintballs. I don't know. Maybe if you pay them extra, they'll shoot you with paintballs, but that's not part of the haunted house. The KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is brought to you by Western Tech, Burnout Bullies, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and War Eagles. Proudly produced. Is that a war eagle? Sounds like a crow. Doesn't sound much like an eagle.
All right.
Eagle! Proudly produced and managed by Desert Warriors Paintball. Good morning, Nico Ajimian.
Good morning, Buzzley Adamius.
You ready to do this Friday show?
Yeah.
You all set?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the final day for the KLAQ cash codes. Starting in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll give out a cash code shortly after 8 o'clock. Then we'll have one in the next hour and every hour through 5 o'clock. But then that's it for for the cash codes after today. We are going to draw, though, for the $30,000 winner. Let me give out some of the names of some of our daily $100 winners. And we don't just give away $100. We give away $100 every day to 10 different listeners. Congratulations to those who've already won $100 in the cash code. Blanca Flores, Haiti Juarez, Victor Saavedra, Ana Chavez, and Irene Lewis. Congratulations, and that's just a partial list of all the winners that we have. You could be the grand prize winner of $30,000. Good luck. More cash codes headed your way throughout the day today. And we're going to have another pair of Win 'Em Before You Can Buy 'Em tickets to Coldplay. Those tickets go on sale today, so it's still going to be Win 'Em Before You Buy 'Em. Coldplay's coming June, I want to say. I'd be guessing to tell you the truth. Do you remember the date? Joanna?
What's that now?
Coldplay date?
It's going to be June 13th.
June
of next year.
13th. Okay. June 13th, 2025. Sun Bowl Stadium. Imagine I imagine it'll probably sell out. So we're going to have tickets to give away for Coldplay. Nico, I want you to preview the news as soon as I let everybody know what the golfers forecast is for this weekend. And the golfers forecast is brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Pretty stable across the board. We're not seeing any rain in the weekend forecast. We are seeing sunshine, though. And highs are going to be in the low 90s, 93, it looks like, through Sunday. That's a pretty steady forecast. Winds, they're not going to be a problem. The winds are going to be under 10 miles an hour. So, and they say this is a little warm for this time of year. 93 is a little warmer than it normally is, but I got to give all three of these days an A+ on the golfer scale. The golfers forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online if you want to do it that way. You could do it at painteddunes.com or call the Pro Shop. Their number is 915-821-2122. That's 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Nico, news headlines. What are we tracking today in the news?
Oh, there's hurricane stuff. Ethel Kennedy died.
Ethel?
I said Ethel.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which one that is. She was married to RFK Sr.?
Yes.
So
this is RFK Jr.'s grandma. Mom.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, yeah.
How old was she? 96, I could tell you.
Yeah. Why would you ask? Why would you ask?
I don't know. Make you seem like a more credible news source?
I'm not. Mm-hmm. I will tell you right now, anybody who's listening, I am the most incredible news source you could have.
Uncredible.
Incredible.
There's a difference between incredible and uncredible.
I know, and I'm saying I'm incredible.
Yeah, we got a lot coming.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to this mess.
I'm better than you.
Boys, we have one day left with Buzz. Just go with it, okay?
I'm noticing we're already getting a lot of calls, so we'll get to some of those in just a few minutes. And Today in Sound Clips on the way.
The Daily Calendar. October 11th. Today is National Coming Out Day for members of our society closeting their true selves. It's something called It's My Party Day, but don't cry because it's also Sausage Pizza Day. And the world celebrates eggs today. They're delish and versatile and come from promiscuous chickens. Lastly, it's International Girl Child Day to empower girl children. I don't know if they mean daughters or witches, whatever. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Chuck here, and I am ready to throw the horns up on Loudwire Nights tonight.
Prepared for the Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roof Protection Plus available for RVs less than 6 years old. $250 deductible applies to any claim.
El Paso's own live and local, The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
We've got Today in Sound Clips coming up in just a moment. Here's a call. Just came in a few moments ago on the neckline. The number to leave us a message, which we will hear as soon as we get in, or if you leave it during the show, we'll hear it right away. Here's the neckline number. It's 844-805-NECK. That's 844-805-6325.
Hey! Woo! Dallas Cowboys! This Sunday, they play the Detroit Pussy, 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 pussy. Meow, woo! Lieutenant Kitty Santa Claus. They're gonna scratch. Woo!
Okay, woo.
Come on, Buzz. Give me a woo.
Here you go.
Woo! Joanna, give me a woo.
Woo!
Nico.
Not this time.
Nico.
No.
Come on, give me a woo.
Okay,
Yeah,
woo. Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the Super
Bowl.
Woo! And thank you guys for being concerned about me. I'm okay. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Woo!
All right.
That was the best part of the call.
So the Cowboys played on Sunday, and they won. And then Monday morning, no call from Cowboys guy. And
We were concerned.
he calls win or lose. To his credit,
Right.
whether they win or lose, Cowboy guy calls. And since we didn't get a call on Monday, yep, we had a little concern, but he's okay. It's great. More cash codes headed your way this morning, but let's get into today in sound clips first before we do anything else.
And now, today in sound clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities, and we'll start with Hurricane Milton. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis had a press conference yesterday in Sarasota. This is after touring some of the damaged area. Had a message for anyone thinking of taking advantage of people in the situation.
There may be opportunities that some people think they can take advantage of. I'm warning you, don't do that. If you loot, you will be held accountable. If you're doing things that violate the law, if you're going to try to take advantage of vulnerable people, we're going to throw the book at you. I mean, we even had some jackass chain a dog to a pole as the storm was coming. Florida Highway Patrol rescued the dog. It's now in Tallahassee. Honestly, it's a good dog, but I mean, it's traumatized from that.
Yeah, jackass.
Jackass.
Couple more from DeSantis here. Governor DeSantis reminded the press and everybody else that hurricane season isn't over yet.
Now, we're not out of hurricane season yet. I don't want to scare anybody, but the reality is hurricane season goes through November. Now, usually, the further we get into October, you're less likely to have a major hurricane, but the reality is that there is some weather, so it's possible something could happen in the later part of October.
All right, and this is DeSantis talking about estimates of how much the damage is going to cost.
How the hell would a Wall Street analyst be able to know? It's been dark all day. What, you just going to know that you're going to do? I mean, like, give me a break on some of this stuff.
Wait, on what?
What would a Wall Street analyst know about how much damage was done? Let's just agree that it's a lot.
Was there a Wall Street analyst that was talking about this?
I will admit I don't know all the background on that story. I just had the comment from the governor.
I just had a clip I wanted to play of him, okay? I don't know.
Well, let's turn our attention to the White House, where President Biden promised his administration will stay in Florida for as long as it takes to recover, to rebuild from Hurricane Milton. Really, we should count them as two. It's Hurricane Helene, and then less than 2 weeks later, Hurricane Milton. We're not trying to steal your stapler, Milton. People were boarding up their houses with messages. Mr. Biden called on lawmakers to return to Washington and pass emergency funding for the SBA. He says the Small Business Administration is very much, in his words, on the edge.
Congress should move as rapidly as they can, particularly on the most immediate need, which is small business.
President Biden called the initial aftermath of Milton devastating, saying his administration will be there for the long haul. Here are a few more comments from Biden.
Anyone who seeks to take advantage of our fellow Americans' desperation, whether you're a company engaging in price gouging or a citizen trying to scam your neighbors, we will go after you and we will hold you accountable.
Price gouging, Buzz.
Yeah, I didn't say price gouging is a good thing. I just said I don't think it's always an illegal thing. And might actually, you call it price gouging.
What do you call it, Buzz?
Charging a premium for goods and services that are desperately needed in a time like this.
But you're not saying it's a good thing.
Not necessarily.
See, you kind of are.
This was President Biden and Vice President Harris were briefed Thursday on the aftermath of Milton, the president calling it devastating and vowing to rebuild. Mr. Biden had a message for Donald Trump, who the White House claims has been amplifying falsehoods about FEMA's response to the recent storms.
Former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
He didn't just pluck that out of the air. Somebody asked him. So it was a press conference. They were asking questions.
God, it has been so dangerous, the misinformation that has been spewing out of him and other
people
supporters.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then everybody else that doesn't have enough spine to clap back at the misinformation.
Well, you were telling me earlier this week that you thought the conspiracy about the hurricane being controlled by the government to disrupt election voting was like just this weird far-right, nobody believes it thing. And I have seen more clips of average people in line at these rallies or this or that echoing that they think the hurricane was caused by the government.
Yeah. There's some people out there that probably buy that, but I think a lot of people repeat it even though they know it's not true. Let's see. Meteorologists, though, have been getting death threats from conspiracy nuts demanding that they admit the government controls the weather.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that alone, it sounds like just another crazy conspiracy. Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about space lasers, but this is like
look at the consequences.
This is a dangerous conspiracy.
Yeah. So they're mad at the meteorologists because the meteorologists are covering the hurricane in a responsible way, but now the meteorologists are getting death threats because what they're saying doesn't line up with what people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are saying. Let's talk about this story here. The Justice Department announced during a press conference yesterday that TD Bank will pay around $3 billion in penalties. This is part of a plea deal on charges to commit money laundering. Attorney General Merrick Garland, who we're going to hear from, but he alleges that they knew they were laundering money for criminal organizations and didn't do anything about it.
Oh, my God.
TD Bank is the 10th largest bank in the U.S. Here is Attorney General Merrick Garland explaining what TD Bank is accused of doing wrong.
TD Bank created an environment that allowed financial crime to flourish. By making its services convenient for criminals, it became one. Today, TD Bank became the largest bank in U.S. history to plead guilty to Bank Secrecy Act program failures and the first bank in history to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering.
So I have one example of the money laundering that TD's accused of. In one case, a man moved over $470 million in drug proceeds and other illicit funds through TD Bank, bribing employees with over $57,000 worth of gift cards. It's like, hey, I know this is going to get flagged, but how about you like Bed Bath & Beyond? There were piles of cash dumped on bank counters, ATM withdrawals 40 to 50 times higher than the daily limit that TD employees let some of these people get away with. 24 people have also been prosecuted for involvement in money laundering schemes, including 2 TD Bank employees. Merrick Garland, Attorney General Merrick Garland said that TD Bank is also going to undergo internal changes as part of the guilty plea.
As part of the plea agreement, TD Bank will fundamentally restructure its corporate compliant program at its U.S.-based bank, which is the 10th largest in the United States. The bank has also agreed to the imposition of a 3-year monitorship and a 5-year term of probation.
So the amount of money they're accused of laundering, although the number could actually be could be quite a bit higher, but the minimum number they're saying is $670 million in illicit criminal money was laundered through TD Bank. Think about that. $670 million, a lot of money. They're being fined $3 billion. So crime doesn't pay. Just like Batman used to say at the end of the Batman show in the 60s. Crime never pays, boy wonder. One more from the Attorney General.
In addition to obtaining today's corporate felony pleas, the Justice Department has also prosecuted 24 individuals for their involvement in money laundering schemes that moved over $670 million in illicit funds through TD Bank accounts. So far, the Justice Department has charged 2 TD Bank employees for their involvement in one of these schemes.
I'll get back to some hurricane news, but these are kind of like weird human interest or kind of off the beaten path type of stories. But
some buzz nugs?
Yeah, but I got some baseball news for you. It's October. Baseball playoffs. Games count now, everybody. The Phillies got knocked out of the playoffs by the New York Mets, and a video of Philly fans reacting has gone viral. One of the stars of that is a Philly fan who says it's the worst thing that's ever happened to her and then gives a few examples.
So there's a couple low points in my life. My dog passing away and them getting a grand slam. The grand slam took the cake. I feel like I might either check into AA, therapy, or an institute of some sort because this is crap. It's full of crap.
It was a dark day when my dog passed away, but this is even worse.
This is worse.
Mm-hmm. All right, Anderson Cooper. We have the audio of Anderson Cooper being hit by flying debris. You know, for taking a shot like this on live television, CNN needs to do a solid and let Anderson Cooper just get blackout drunk on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Here is the moment that...
just have him and Andy Cohen separated.
Yeah, let him drink.
Andy Cooper gets hit in the face live on the air.
The water now is really starting to pour over. If you look at the graph, whoa. Okay. That wasn't good.
And this was a weird moment. Reporters were interviewing guys fishing in the road during the hurricane.
Like there was so much water, you could just fish from the road.
And they say that sometimes that road floods even when it's not such a serious storm as Milton was. They say, yeah, and a guy pulls out a pretty nice size, like a 4-pound bass,
nice.
right as he's being interviewed. So as the reporter is interviewing this guy, they're interrupted by a guy riding a riding mower through the water. This is Florida, folks. This happened on WKMG News 6 in Orlando.
We're fishing in the middle of the road because this road floods all the time. And there's a guy coming behind us in a lawnmower, isn't there?
That's America if I've ever seen it.
So we've got people fishing in the road. We've got a guy on a lawnmower. He's doing all right, yeah. So we've got people fishing in the middle of the road, a guy on a lawnmower in the middle of the road.
I had to look up the picture. Yeah, so, calf deep water, and they're out there like as if you were trout fishing in a brook. And then this dude just rolls up on his riding mower.
So they see me rolling.
Yeah.
I'm riding.
It looks like that thing would stall out with so much water. Again, the water is, somewhere between ankle and knee deep where they are.
I'm cutting the kelp.
A Florida man known as Lieutenant Dan rode out the storm.
Lieutenant Dan?
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. He rode out the storm on his boat in Tampa. People were worried because he refused to evacuate. Maybe he figured, I live on a boat, bitches. I can just sail away. Reporters checked on him and found out that the man known as Lieutenant Dan is okay. Here's a clip.
God told me to come out here and get a boat. I came out here and got a boat. And everything that he's been telling me over the last 2 days is I'm doing the right thing. He's got my back. I'm in good shape. I ain't sweating it. We're going to ride this one out. We got set up the way we know what we're doing. And as long as the water just keeps rising, we'll be fine.
Apparently he's kind of a colorful, well-known local character.
Did he just say God told him to stay there?
Yes. unlike the original Lieutenant Dan who told God, "You'll never sink this boat." The guy's name is really Joseph Milanowski, and some of the people in Tampa have pointed out that he has an extensive criminal record, but I guess it's still good to see that he's okay. Let's talk about this. We touched on it a little bit yesterday. Why do they send the reporters out in the hurricane? They're telling everybody else not to be out in the hurricane. Don't be out in the hurricane. Right. You send your reporters out in the hurricane.
The reporters are out there like, you need to evacuate now.
They have external cameras. You could have a camera out there and have the...
they could just be like, let's check the camera.
I mean, whatever hit Anderson Cooper in the face didn't do any permanent damage, but what if it had been like a stop sign that just came by and like, took his head off? Yeah. Hey, we need you to get down there and tell everybody to evacuate and to be really careful. And for God's sake, whatever they do, don't go out into the weather. Where am I going to be? Outside in the hurricane.
Are you fed up with your boring day job? Would you like to enter the exciting field of broadcast journalism? Then we want to talk to you. All across the United States, there's a daily, almost hourly need for people who are willing to stand outside in typhoons, floods, tornadoes, and hurricane force winds and do a live report on a local newscast to tell the viewers it's raining and or windy. The technical name for these people is idiots.
Okay.
You've seen them on TV. Now you can be one too. Auditioning is easy. Just stand in your shower at home with the water turned up full blast and pointing directly at your face and take a selfie. Then send it to your local news affiliate and wait for the phone to ring. That's opportunity calling at 175 miles an hour. Take your first step today into a thrilling, exciting, and potentially fatal career in television.
Good morning, Chuck Armstrong here, and I will be along tonight at 7 to get your weekend off to a rockin' start with Loudwire Nights. Then tomorrow at 5, it's 2 hours of ultimate Metallica.
Visit Western Tech and enroll today. Don't give up. Rise up at Western Tech. College for the real world.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Got a few neckline calls. Want to get to these. Thanks, everybody, for calling. Remember, you can call the neckline anytime, 24 hours a day, over the weekend, overnight, doesn't matter. We'll get those messages. The toll-free neckline number is 844-805-NECK. That's 844-805-6325. Call directly to the studio, 915-910-4995. Is that telephone number. Again, direct line into the studio, 915-910-4995. All right, let's get a couple of calls, and then I've got 3 random facts on the way for you.
Good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news?
You have good news, bad news.
Thank you, Joanna. If it weren't for Joanna,
dude,
I would just fall all apart.
You're already in that mode. I
Vacation.
understand you're going on vacation, so
I'm in precation
I
mode.
got you, boo.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I was just listening to the KLAQ Haunted House commercial, and I got a question. Is that Alberto playing the part of Dracula? He's an entertaining Dracula. He sounds like Draculaberto from Mexico. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend.
Draculaberto.
Did you hear where he said he was from? Listen.
Draculaberto from Mexicovania.
I mean, I've heard the commercial. Can you play? Do you have it?
The one for the parade.
Oh, it's the parade.
I think
Okay.
so. Let me see here.
This Halloween, I'm counting on you. Thursday, October 31st.
Okay, all right,
One
okay.
source FCU and Flow.
If it's somebody who works at the building, I think I know who it is.
Who do you think it is?
Chad.
Chad.
Yeah, I think that's.
I've been wondering who is doing this one.
No, I think
it
that-
gets funnier.
The 39th annual KLAQ Halloween Parade.
Join me, the Count, at Album Park, and decorate your vehicle and enter the Rock and Drive contest.
Okay, yeah, that's Chad.
Chad.
I'd bet
I've been wondering who it is.
I would bet $1,000.
God, you know,
that's
every
Chad.
now and then Chad comes out in these commercials and they are hilarious.
Mhm.
He did that Sasquatch one that I love so much.
He does good voices.
Sasquatch.
No, it's me, your husband.
Hey, good morning show. I'm Good Friday, first of all. Great Friday to all of you. I'm calling in about the money for the cash contest, the win cash contest, the cash codes. I'm wondering if, since us frequent neckline callers get extra entries about the $30,000, if so, how can I maximize my chances aside from just entering the cash codes? And if that's not the case, then I was wondering if Nico could probably make me a loan from his trust fund, from his generational wealth. I don't know.
Did you catch that, Nico?
I don't have a trust
You
fund.
obviously must have a trust fund. You eat escargot for Christmas.
You are such a dick. You know that that's not true. You know that my little situation. You know I'm not like a trust fund baby.
How old did your pony Rose Hips live to be?
I don't know.
Ripe old age?
Our old family horse lived till how old do horses live? Like 40? I don't know.
How old do they live to?
Make me a loan from his trust fund, from his generational wealth.
And you're encouraging this. You are encouraging this. Yes, you are. By talking about escargot like
You
that.
have done it to yourself,
No,
Nico.
you have.
Even yesterday, you were talking about, well, I went to a magnate school, which was for...
I didn't say that yesterday.
The day before then.
I don't need much. It's probably just like a couple $1,000s. I'll pay you interest. Or you, Buzz, growing up with a cattle baron and stuff, maybe pawn a cow and then let me borrow some of that cash. Let me know. Hit me up. All right, guys, later.
The most cows we ever had at one time were 30 to 40 head of cattle. Hardly a
cattle baron over here.
Hardly a cattle baron. No, there's no other way to sign up. Listen, for those cash codes for everybody, it's the same
It's the
process.
same.
Enter as many as you can. Remember, when you get these cash codes today, they expire at midnight, and that this is the final day for the KLAQ cash codes. Let me check what else is
Trust
going
fund,
on.
baby,
A
my
Cowboy
ass.
Guy called in earlier. It was great to hear from Cowboy Guy. Dallas Cowboys are going to be back at home. They're taking on a pretty good Lions team, 3-1 right now, the Detroit Lions. And we're going to start our broadcast with the pregame show. Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg are going to do the pregame show starting at 1:30.
There's a guy named Babe.
Yeah, Babe Laufenberg used to be quarterback for the Cowboys back in the day.
I guess my name's Babe, kind of.
Shut up. Dallas Cowboys football on the Q is brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. 915 Tours and Border City Ale House. Border City Ale House hosts the 600 ESPN El Paso Monday Night Football watch parties with Steve Kaplowitz. And speaking of Kaplowitz, he went to Kentucky with the UTEP Miners.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah, they played last night in Bowling Green. And their plane got in around 4 in the morning, or that was the plan anyway. Steve says he's still going to come in this morning to talk
he
about
is.
sports.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, good for him.
Anybody want to look up real quick? I mean, I kind of have an idea, but how did UTEP do?
I think they lost.
Yeah, I think they probably did too. Can you grab a score there for me or anything?
Is this football?
Yeah, man, it's football. And
17-44 against Western Kentucky Hilltop.
They lost 17-44? Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Against Kentucky Hilltop.
Mm-hmm. Western Kentucky Hilltop.
Wow. Movies opening today. Joanna,
Yes.
scale of 1 to 5, how interested are you in seeing these movies in the theater? You
Okay,
ready?
here we go.
This is a fun game.
Okay.
Well, first of all, let me ask you, is my review of Joker 2 up?
Yes.
Check out KLAQ.com. I put up my review of Joker 2, and it doesn't have spoilers until there's a big announcement that says, all right, there's spoilers after this, so proceed with caution. What are your chances of going and see Joker 2 after hearing my review?
Very high. I think I am going to go see it this weekend.
So a 5?
So a 5.
Are you going to go with anybody?
My sister, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your precious boys?
My sweet boys are not interested.
In Joker 2?
Yeah, they're like, reviews are trash.
Yeah.
They sound like such teenagers now.
They're terrible. They don't want to hang out with me
All right,
anymore.
how about this one? The Apprentice, rated R. Sebastian Stan plays a young, impressionable Donald Trump in the 1970s.
Is this the one like it shows
Roy Cohn? Roy Cohn's played by Jeremy Strong.
And I think Roy Cohn, does he get HIV?
Yes.
Is he gay?
Not anymore.
Well, I know. I think, doesn't Donald Trump kind of stop all contact with him? When
The story is that Roy Cohn, who was also big in the Red Scare movement, in the 50s, where they were blacklisting people who.
Well, he was an aide to
McCarthy. Joe McCarthy.
Yep.
But Roy Cohn was diagnosed with AIDS right when, AIDS was really hitting the scene, and the story is that Trump never went to go see him, cut off all contact. Roy Cohn is played by Jeremy Strong. Joanna, 1 to 5.
Jeremy Strong. 2.
Yeah, a 2.
I'll probably wait until it gets on streaming.
All right, Piece by Piece. This is the life of Pharrell Williams as told through Lego animation.
Wow.
There are also Lego versions of Kendrick Lamar, Gwen Stefani, Justin Timberlake, Snoop Dogg, and many, many others.
I mean, it looks fun because there's a lot of music in this, but I didn't think Pharrell's life was interesting enough to be.
And then I got in my weird hat stage.
Yeah, I want to hear and see the Lego versions of all his weird hats.
Yeah.
So a 2.
Saturday night.
It's like we didn't get a Gandhi version, Lego Gandhi, but we got Lego Pharrell.
Nice.
I mean, that Happy song is the only song that I know is by him. Anything else, I'd just be guessing on. But I don't think I care for the Lego animation. There's just something aggravating about it. And I know people love the Lego.
I love it.
Love Lego Batman.
I love it.
Saturday night.
I'm Batman.
This is about the true story of what happened behind the scenes in the minutes, the hour and a half leading up to the first broadcast of Saturday Night Live in October of 1975. It's got a huge cast. Some of the faces you might recognize: Dylan O'Brien as Dan Aykroyd, J.K. Simmons as Milton Berle, and Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things is in it, not as anybody in particular, but a random NBC page.
Oh, okay.
Also, they got somebody playing George Carlin, who was the host on that first night. Joanna, 1 to 5.
2.
All right, how about this one?
Okay.
Terrifier 3 follows up on Victoria giving birth to Art the Clown's head. And the two of, okay, it looks like I'm reading the rantings of an insane person. Okay. And the two of them eventually go after survivor Sienna and her family on Christmas Eve.
Wait.
It's in Christmas.
Who's Victoria?
And she gave birth to Art the Clown's head. Does this make any sense to you, Joanna?
Kind of. I didn't watch Terrifier 2.
But you saw Terrifier 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you got to see Terrifier 2, Joanna.
I know, I got to catch up.
You're not a Terrifier fan.
It took a while for it to get on streaming, so.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but you must not have really loved Terrifier 1 as much as if Terrifier 2's been on streaming for so long, you still haven't watched it.
There's a lot to watch out there, Buzz.
1 to 5, Terrifier 3.
Like, I just started
5. You're definitely going to see Terrifier 3.
Definitely going to see
I just started Gilmore Girls again,
It's Gilmore Girls season, okay?
How about good news, bad news of the week? Let's go ahead and roll the dice and see if we can take a look at some news stories that have been in headlines, both the positive and negative side of the story.
All right.
Dark cloud, but also the silver lining. Here we go with good news, bad news of the week.
Oh, good news.
Yeah, Paul McCartney says that he is going to use AI to make new Beatles music.
Oh,
wow.
Right? Okay, that sounds good.
Cool.
Bad news.
At least until Yoko Ono starts dating the AI and that breaks up the band again.
Damn it, Yoko.
An American teenager is the first person known to get the classic video game Tetris to reset itself after beating the game.
Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great.
The only puzzle this kid can't solve is how to get a date with a girl. I'll say good news here. Sometimes it's harder
Okay.
to which column to put these in.
Yeah.
Good news.
Okay.
Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance says that the Republican Party is the pro-family party.
Really? All right. That's bad news.
Well, Donald Trump's so pro-family, he started at least 3 of them that we know of.
Hey-o.
And finally, this
Bad news.
one
Okay.
starts with bad news. Elon Musk said on Monday that he will be thrown in prison if Kamala Harris wins the election.
Wow. What's the good news?
5 minutes later, Harris jumped 30 points in the latest poll. And that is your good news, bad news of the week for today.
This is Dubba G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, El Paso's best rock
of World War II. Gunfighter, sponsored by 95.5 KLAQ. Tickets at AmigoAirShow.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemay report is on the way. We're going to get a preview of the Martha Stewart series or just a documentary?
A documentary.
A documentary that's going to be available on, I believe, Netflix.
Yes.
On later this month, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll get to that coming up in just a few minutes. Mayoral candidate Brian Kennedy is going to be dropping by later.
Hey-o.
Here's a story, Nico, that you touched on just a little bit yesterday. They're doing something in Switzerland that, as Americans, we've got to make sure that it never happens in this country. We just need to be aware of what's going on around the world.
Democratic socialism?
No, I'm talking about a judge or a court ruled that workers have to clock out when they go on a bathroom break. This is specifically because of a Swiss luxury watch brand called Singer. They changed their policy and told workers, if you need to use the restroom, you got to clock out first.
Well, they are sticklers for time.
Yeah. We're all watching our clock here. I mean, our watches. When labor inspectors, and I guess they have different, standards. Switzerland, very different country. When they heard about it in 2021, they said, that's illegal. You can't have your workers clock out just to go to the bathroom. Well, it worked its way up the courts there. What labor inspectors says that it was in violation of labor laws and could cause workers to hold it in or not drink enough, to avoid going to the restroom. It could lead to serious health issues. So it seemed like it was shot down by labor inspectors. But a court just ruled not illegal. So the luxury watch brand Singer is free to go back to making people clock out before they go to the restroom. It's terrible, isn't it?
It's terrifying.
Can you imagine if they did that here? And then they tell us, well, hold it or just don't drink
There'd be a
any water.
nonstop line at the place to clock out. And I also think people would just ignore it here until it went away. That
By
solves
people,
a lot.
They mean Buzz Adams.
That solves. Hey, listen, that solves a lot of problems with our, kind of corporate existences. From now on, you gotta do this. You log in your time off, and so I just don't do it, and nobody ever says anything about it.
And then that reminds me.
I found the cheat code.
Have you put in your stuff
It's
for
not
your
a
vacation?
it's not a cheat code because everybody else around you has to do it.
Yeah, your weaponized. What is it called? Weaponized
Incompetence.
Is not going to work.
It's just a time waster. It's just like, one of these things that they have you do for no reason. So I quit doing it, and nobody has said anything about it.
Put in your time for your vacation next week?
No.
Buzz Adams. I'm not going to do it for you for free again.
See, that's what happens is, I found a cheat code in life.
The cheat code is called Joanna and Nico.
It's
go
called
do it.
Other People Do Stuff for Me.
Can you do this for me?
Okay, so
Joanna, how do I convert a PDF?
it turns out that...
How do I search a document? Why can't I search this?
Focus. It turns out that Swiss labor laws say all kinds of stuff about bathrooms and how clean they have to be, but there's nothing in there that says your employer can't require you to clock out before taking a bathroom break.
Well, it sounds like they need to create a law for that then.
Yeah.
I think that's what the court was doing. The court was trying to say, there is no law for this, so if you want there to be a law for this, go back and do that.
Take it to the king or whatever they have.
They have a cheese.
They have a parliament.
A head cheese.
They have a head
Swiss cheese?
Yes.
So here's basically what a typical work schedule is like for, I think, most American workers, especially if you work in an office.
Working 9 to 10, then going to grab a coffee. Working 10:15 to 10:45, then going to the bathroom. Working 11:18 to 12, then going to lunch for an hour. Then back to your desk, then having a sneaky nap. Then working 12 to 1, time to get a little treat. Then working 1:30 to 2:30, time for another coffee. Then from 3 to 5, you walk around the office and pretend to look busy because you finished everything at 10.
Yeah. What if you just want to play one game of Candy Crush? You gotta clock out for that.
One game of Royal Match.
Yeah, Royal Match, whatever you're playing, or just. Hey, I'm going to rest my eyes for 30 seconds, but first I have to go down the hall and clock out so I can rest my eyes for 30 minutes. There's a second verse to this song, by the way, Joanna, that you haven't heard.
Working 9 to 10, then going to the bathroom. Working 10:30 to 11:45, then going to the bathroom. Then right before lunch, we do another bathroom. Then we go to the bathroom right after we get back from lunch. Working 2 to 3, then going to the bathroom. Working 3:30 to 4:30, then doing another bathroom. Then right before we leave, we go to the bathroom. If you question my bathroom breaks, I will see you in court.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
Here she is, Joanna Barba. Tell us all about the Hollywood Cheese May or the Hollywood Cheese.
I will.
Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Joanna.
Disturbed are celebrating the 25th anniversary of their seminal debut album, The Sickness, with an extensive 2025 North American tour. The outing will find the metal band performing the multi-platinum album in its entirety, plus a second set of greatest hits from the rest of their discography. The 34-date tour kicks off in February in Idaho. There's a few Texas dates, and probably the closest one to us is in Phoenix, with a date in May. The first 12 dates of the run will feature support from 3 Days Grace, featuring the return of the original singer Adam Gontier.
Hey, all
and
right.
Seven Dust. Well, the last
That sounds like a good rock show.
Yeah, the last 22 shows will include support from Daughtry and Nothing More. A Live Nation pre-sale starts
Just
Wednesday.
Daughtry, nothing more? Just Daughtry.
Just Daughtry and Nothing More. Live Nation pre-sale starts Wednesday, October 16th, and regular tickets begin on sale Friday, October 18th. The Sickness was released on March 7th of 2000 and has been certified 5 times platinum by the RIAA. The album yielded the mainstream rock radio hits Stupefy, Down with the Sickness, Voices, and The Game.
There you go, Nico.
Oh, nice.
Sounded like a macaque.
Yeah, everybody in our app chat, send us those voice recordings of you doing your best. Ooh, ah. Or into the neckline Hit us with that neckline number, Buzz.
You're a macaque.
Somebody say the neckline number. What's the neckline number?
Yeah, sure. Neckline number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325. There's no prize for this. You're just doing it for fun.
I just want to hear it. Your Buzz may not play it, but I want to hear it. Just know that. Netflix is launching a live weekly variety talk show with comedian John Mulaney in early 2025. The new program follows Mulaney's previous live talk show for the streamer Everybody's in LA, which also had Richard Kind on board as the show's announcer. The show was kind of like a limited series for the streamer, and Netflix's chief content officer, Bella Bahara, says it was a great test to see what worked in the format. Everybody's in LA ran for 6 episodes in May earlier this year as part of the Netflix's A Joke Festival. The comedian will be busy working as host, co-showrunner, and executive producer.
Oh, good for him.
And he's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live later this season.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be one of these guys that ends up doing it once a year.
Just the returning host.
And I'll tell you another one. They had Nate Bargatze on again. He really killed it on Saturday Night Live last year. They had him come back, and he was so popular, he even redid some of his characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was he on this past week?
Was Bargatze last week? I think he was the week before.
Oh.
Cool. Do you know that I still get like calls from people who are like, I will not watch anything with that guy.
Okay, because he was just
such a bad interview.
He was not that great on the morning show.
There's one thing not being great. There's another one where you're like willfully, I'm going to do a crappy interview because I don't give a S about this guy. But after seeing his stand-up and seeing him, especially on Saturday Night Live, I can't help it. I'm a Nate Bargatze fan, even though he was a real dick when we did an interview with him.
Good news for the folks behind the upcoming Wicked films. The pre-sale numbers on day one for the first Wicked film were huge, making it the second largest day one pre-sale take of 2024, coming in just behind the day one pre-sale numbers of Deadpool and Wolverine. Wicked is also the best PG-rated first day ticket pre-seller of 2024 and the number 3 PG-rated first day ticket pre-seller of all time, behind Frozen 2 and 2019's The Lion King. Wicked hits theaters November 22nd, which is also the date that Gladiator 2 hits theaters, and many are hoping for a Barbenheimer
That would be
effect,
cool. Yeah.
calling this one Wikiator.
Wiki.
Wiki. I don't know. It doesn't sound great, but
Gladiated?
That's what they're going with.
Gladiated? No.
Gladiated.
Have you seen?
That sounds like something else.
Have either of you seen Wikipedia? Not Wikipedia. Wicked.
On stage?
On stage, yeah, stage.
I've always wanted to see it, and when it came here, I couldn't get tickets, so I haven't seen it.
I've seen it 4 times.
But
really?
How do you know about it, Joanne? Did you read the playbook, or have you heard the song?
Because the play came here to El Paso.
No, but don't you know about the? You know about the plot and everything, right?
Oh yeah, because of Glee.
Oh, okay.
You will be popular.
You're gonna be popular. If your 4-year-old seems super psyched right now, it's probably because the Wiggles just released their new track.
Okay, original Wiggles fans, and I know this because my eldest is now 25. And he was a big Wiggles fan. So the Wiggles have been around a long time.
Wow.
Now, did you know that?
I did not. Much like Post Malone and Beyonce, the Wiggles are going country. They replaced their big red car with a big red truck, and in true country fashion, they wrote a song about it. It's called Big Red Ute, which is Aussie slang for a utility vehicle. They look like a truck, but usually have a shorter bed. The freewheeling music video takes the Wiggles on a journey in their unmissable new ride with their furry friend Wags the dog. Decked out in cowboy hats, the band takes a trek across the countryside, embracing off-roading and, of course, some fresh new choreography. Would you like to hear some of the Big Red Ute?
Absolutely not.
If your 4-year-old is in, I'm going to show it to you anyway.
Okay.
If your 4-year-old isn't within listening distance, watch out.
Big red Ute. It goes vroom vroom the big red Ute on the open road.
Cute, right?
Hot potato. Potato. See, I prefer their early stuff.
Also, these are different Wiggles.
No.
Yes, these are not the original
They don't have
Wiggles.
Jeff and Murray.
No, these are different Wiggles. Who are these Wiggles? Who knows? Well, finally, the trailer for the upcoming documentary Martha about Martha Stewart is now out. The documentary features Martha herself, in her own words, discussing her career from teen model to self-made billionaire with a 5-month stint behind bars for the insider trading somewhere in the middle. But perhaps the biggest moment in the trailer is the revelation that Martha cheated on her husband, Andy. Would you like to hear that?
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history? If there was ever the original influencer, it's Martha. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, get out of that marriage. Didn't you have an affair early on? Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
Martha.
So this is interesting. They got married in 1961.
Yes.
They separated in 1987, but didn't get divorced until 1990, and she never got married again.
Was she the first billionaire?
No.
I don't think so.
But she was a self-made billionaire. She didn't inherit it or anything. But I think she did reach billionaire status.
The documentary hits Netflix on October 30th, and I can't wait to hear about Andy, which would be Martha's one and only husband.
Are they going to track him down?
I know, right? Do they ask him, like, hey,
did you know Martha?
Did you know she cheated?
Do you know it was?
Yeah, I didn't find out for 40 years.
It was.
He's
with
all like, what?
It was with an 18-year-old Snoop Dogg, though.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba. Oh, no, you better not.
Are there bad words?
Yeah.
Do you? I just want to hear the
They're better. No.
Don't do it?
Don't. Why didn't you ask me and I could have gotten it for you over here?
Okay, get it for me. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Much more ahead, including mayoral candidate, former city councilman Brian Kennedy is going to be coming by.
Did he have to resign as a city councilman to run for mayor?
Yeah, that's and there was another city councilman, a member who's running for mayor, and she also had to resign her seat from city council. That's why there are now people running for city council seats. Because those had to be abdicated. All right, more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show is on the way right after this.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Me at 59 across the street from Walgreens, or visit vida-cbd.com.
We're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz and the Morning Show, 95.5 The Q.
We've got the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror open this weekend. Extended hours Friday and Saturday from 7 to midnight. And then on Sunday, 7 to 10. We're going to expand those hours and probably even go more days a week as we get closer to Halloween. Check out the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror. You can get tickets at the door at 13900 Montana, or we have tickets to give away later during the morning show. And here's something else fun that's going on. KLAQ invites you to the El Paso Farmland Presents Honeybees, Corn Maze, and Pumpkin Patch. They got a corn maze open weekends through October 27th. Don't miss this year's big maze and also a kiddie maze. Plus, enjoy the pumpkin patches, rides, food, games, relax under one of the canopies. Seasonal family fun awaits you at El Paso Farmland's Honeybee, Corn Maze, and Pumpkin Patch. That's at 1100 Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road at I-10 in Eastland. Visit elpasocornmaze.com for all the details. I've never been out to a corn maze early enough that it wasn't just like people walk across and knock the corn over. You know, like some people get frustrated
people
or
do that.
impatient.
And just like, I'm
like,
going right through it.
You know what? The sun's over there. I'm just going to walk in that direction. We got a true crime report, and then later we're going to talk to mayoral candidate Brian Kennedy.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
It's time for the True Crime Report, actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. And we got some real doozies today. So buckle in. A woman was so mad with her Domino's delivery that she went down to the pizza place and did damage. 22-year-old woman in Florida named Ricky Holly flew into a rage when Domino's delivered a pizza she says was cold and uncut. What?
Uh-oh.
Cold? Cold pizza's fine.
That's fine.
But uncut, come on. That's basic pizzaing.
Ricky, the young woman, drove from her home to the restaurant, argued with an employee, threw the pizza at the employee, and picked up the store's phone and smashed it. Someone called police. They must have used a different phone then. The police came and arrested Holly for criminal mischief, which is a misdemeanor. But she did spend the night in jail. She was ordered not to have contact with that Domino's location. She's kind of annoyed, huh? Do you remember the Noid?
Oh, the Domino's thing.
The Domino's Noid. She can order from different Domino's locations, however.
Not that one.
Teachers at the Spring School District, which is just north. It's part of the Houston Metroplex, but
it's Texas.
Yeah, teachers in Spring, Texas, are under fire for giving elementary kids special stickers at nap time.
Stickers are good for kids, right?
Kids love stickers.
Yeah. These were sleep aids. I guess like a dermal patch.
Oh, like a transdermal patch that can
patch
help you, nod off.
Parents became concerned when their kids were acting drunk. Here's a Houston report on this.
As 4 and 5 telling their parents they got special stickers at school. One mom shared a photo with us. Turns out it's a patch that releases substances to help people sleep.
I did not know there was such a patch, but look, it's got like moons and stars and stuff on it. Let's hear.
Maybe you could use that.
Let's hear from some of the parents. They said what they were really concerned about was that their kids, first of all, that their kids are being given a sleep aid. And second of all, that then the kids wouldn't go to sleep at their bedtime.
She said, it's a sleeping sticker. I asked her, where do you get this? She's like, well, my teacher gives it to me for sleeping time. The next day we went up to the school, we bought the evidence up there. We filed a report. We did say we wanted to file criminal charges if this is something that's true.
He said, yes, Mommy, I get a special sticker. I said, what does the sticker look like? He said, I get it right here on my hand, and it has the storms with the clouds and the stars and the moon.
Just giving kids
Teachers
sleep
are
aids.
just like, here.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
I used to tell
You
my
think those
nephews
are
that.
OTC or prescription?
I guess it's better than choking the kid out to go to sleep.
Or giving them each a beer.
Yeah, or giving them a beer to pass out.
The patches remind me, when I was in middle school, they told us that, hey, if anybody gives you like a sticker of a Disney character, it's actually LSD. They're going to be adults trying to give you LSD. And
that sounds awesome.
Like that. I know. That's not how drugs
Turns out
work.
that's not how drugs work.
Right. They don't just give it to you. In Pennsylvania, an 18-year-old man was arrested for damaging a police vehicle. The reason this makes the true crime report is because the man was dressed as a banana.
He put the banana in the tailpipe.
He put the banana in the tailpipe? Here is Lieutenant Dennis Rosenbaum talking about the banana-dressed man, Shane Thomas.
The man was dressed in a banana costume. He is linked to the patrol wagon for sure, but The conspiracy charge comes in with several other people were involved too, throwing items, and in the one incident they tried to set the police car on fire.
Wait a minute. So
God.
were the other guys also dressed as fruit?
Like a Fruit of the Loom
The Fruit
gang?
of the Loom guys are on the loose,
Watch out for grapes.
wreaking havoc again.
They were able to track down the suspect after his own social media post wearing the banana costume were later linked to his high school yearbook photo.
Do you think he'll be able to get out on appeal?
This is a real slippery slope, okay?
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Nico.
I'm writing that down.
You earn your keep every now and then. A maniac drove a stolen car through a school playground packed with kids.
Oh, no.
But the car was being driven by a 10-year-old.
By one of the kids? He wanted to show off his whip. Hey, Cindy, look at me.
A 10-year-old boy was arrested after he drove a stolen car through a crowded school playground in Minneapolis. They're not giving the name of the 10-year-old. It was packed. There were dozens of kids and adults at the time that could have easily been hit. Amazingly, I guess, no one was hurt.
He's a good driver.
It's unclear. The story says that the kids stole the car or got it from somebody else, but sadly, it was a stolen car. The 10-year-old in question has been arrested twice before for stealing cars.
Oh, the same 10-year-old?
He's been arrested twice. This is his third arrest for stealing cars. Apparently, he's a suspect in more than a dozen other cases.
I really like Grand Theft Auto.
The boy's family is reportedly cooperating with police and recognized that their child needs help. Okay, so that's good anyway. Ooh, they got video of the kid driving through I didn't see this earlier. Freaking YouTube. Now, of course, it's a 30-second commercial. Come on, I want to see the 10-year-old driving the car.
It's caught on camera. Kids on a school playground nearly hit by a stolen car.
He was booking. I thought maybe he was going like
2 miles an hour. No, he's going like 30 miles an hour.
35, 40.
Through that
Behind
park.
the wheel of that car, a 10-year-old boy. Video here provided by Minneapolis police shows.
Oh, he passes right by that playground.
God, I'm glad I watched this.
The car driving on the grass as frantic school staff try to move the kids away.
He's just driving around the park.
What is just as shocking, police say the 10-year-old already has a lengthy criminal record. He's been arrested for auto theft twice before and listed as a suspect in 12 other cases.
Oh, my God.
This kid's going to be the next Ricky Bobby.
If you're not first, you're last.
You're last. Well, I hope they get that kid the help he needs.
Or take away his phone book.
That he sits on?
Yeah.
I was going to say, or does he have like wooden blocks so he can drive a car like Short Round at Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? And final story here. A woman called 911 after her home was overrun by 100 raccoons.
Oh, my God.
This happened in Washington State. We do have audio with this one. She called police, called 911. Her property was invaded by more than 100 raccoons, and she said that she feared for her life. But here's the rub, okay? The woman has been feeding raccoons in her yard for the past 35 years.
Okay.
So
well,
you kind of brought this on yourself, right?
Rack City, bitch.
She admitted that she has been feeding the raccoons for around 35 years, and things just kind of got out of control recently. She said that the raccoons on the incident in question surrounded her and began demanding food even when she didn't have any. I mean, come on. Do you really blame the raccoons here, or do you blame the woman?
Where's my food, bitch?
I don't have any. Leave me alone. I don't have any.
Last week, the woman called 911 because all the raccoons started closing in on her, and she feared for her life. Police or the sheriff's deputies recommended that she pay someone to remove them, but one specialist said that it would cost $500 per raccoon to have them removed and relocated. And I said we have some audio for this one. Let's listen in to who are we going to hear from? We're going to hear from Kevin McCarty, who's a spokesman for the county sheriff, and part of the woman's 911 caller, and also a neighbor. So the neighbors are also concerned about the 100 or so raccoons.
She felt the raccoons were threatening. This is something you don't see every day.
35 years ago, you first started feeding some raccoons, and then when all of a sudden did it explode like this?
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago.
They were shocked. They had never seen that many raccoons in one place.
I've had several raccoons in the yard recently. My dogs have gotten in a scuffle several times with raccoons. I even had to take one of my dogs to the vet after tussling with a raccoon.
But $500 per raccoon to relocate them. They need to get that woman some help.
Coming up, exclusive interviews with Donald Trump and Joe Biden as they address the biggest problem facing the nation.
The raccoons are destroying our country. They're coming to our yards, 100 of them. They're begging for food. They're taking the food, and they have to be stopped.
You don't want to miss these interviews as they tackle the biggest issue in America.
Yeah, man, the raccoons, they come into the yard and they dig around and they're looking for food, and sometimes they crawl underneath the house and then they make noise and they live under there. And what was I saying?
New exclusive interviews with Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
We're going to build a huge wall around every single house in America to keep the raccoons out, and the raccoons are going to pay for it.
Yeah, man, with the raccoons and
Coming up.
Artist interviews, Zoom music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
NCUA or any not credit union guaranteed, not credit union deposits or obligations may lose value.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Well, we are in the pitched battle that is elections. It's a presidential election year, also mayoral election year in El Paso, and we have one of the candidates, Brian Kennedy, who is your District 1 city representative. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How you doing?
Great to see you, friend.
Good to see you.
So what's the deal? If you run for mayor, you have to resign your city council seat?
Actually, I'm going to be there till probably the end of the year.
Yeah.
So,
but people are running for that seat.
People are running for that seat. Correct. They're running for that seat right now, and we waited because we didn't want to cost the city $500,000 for an election. It costs nothing.
We had Mayor Leeser in consistently through everything that's been going on, and he's thrown his endorsement to you.
Yeah, he has.
Tell me about your relationship with Oscar.
Well, it's, he's my best friend. I just put it out that
Oscar
way.
is a great guy. Oscar's a good dude to hang out with.
He is, and we laugh about it because people say, oh, well, you guys are in lockstep. Well, not really. We have some great disagreements. And
would you say that you sided with him on most things when it came to city business?
Absolutely, because he was always for not spending silly money, but spending money wisely.
Yeah, I think part of the thing is when you're talking about money for infrastructure and roads and bridges, people's eyes kind of glaze over. But when you're talking about something, sexy or exciting, that really engages people. If you want to talk about a deck plaza, people definitely have
thoughts.
And since we brought it up, what's your thoughts on the deck plaza?
I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it's going to cost, and I don't know who's going to pay for it. But besides that, it's a great idea.
Do you think they'll ever go ahead with that plan that they're talking about?
Oh, I think the widening of I-10 is going to happen because TxDOT's going to make that happen.
So they're saying while they're doing that, let's I'll just explain to you, not you, but to everybody, what a deck plaza is.
Yeah, explain to me. What is a deck plaza?
So that, when you're going downtown, there's kind of like an elbow before you head up to the west side.
We call it the trench.
The trench.
It's kind of like being in a tunnel. Well, under this, it would be a tunnel because they would fill all the surface level streets
in
and
between
turn
the
it into a
bridges.
big plaza.
Yeah.
So you'd go under a tunnel. And I'm thinking that's just a nightmare of traffic, but they're going to widen I-10 there anyway.
Yeah, they're going to widen I-10. They're going to push it out another lane going each way, they say. I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, the concept's nice. It's a nice vision, but when somebody says, how much is it going to cost? Well, first it was $400 million, then it was $200 million, and then who's going to maintain it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Dallas pays $5 million a year to maintain their 3-block deck park. Ours is 5.
Wow.
Do they just have one, or do they have more than one?
They have a couple, but the big one they have there is about $5 million for 3 blocks. And I just want to know the whole plan and what it's going to cost before we start telling people we should do it.
What is something you're passionate about as far as being mayor? What is something, and it doesn't have to be something exciting, but where does your passion lie for being mayor?
One of the most unexciting things that is necessary is, we talk about streets and people's eyes glaze over, because they do, until they lose a Volkswagen in a pothole.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. We'll get a call about that pothole when it happens. But until then, people's eyes glaze over.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that, I tell people that quality of life is if you don't tax people out of existence so their kids and grandkids can buy a house here.
Explain our tax situation. I always hear that we pay such high taxes, but honestly, since I've been a working adult, I haven't lived anywhere else other than El Paso. So is it that bad?
It is.
Okay.
It's terrible. But there's 5 entities. That's the problem. It's like the last 2 years, for the first time in history, the city said, we're going to collect the same taxes this year as we did last year. And somebody says, but my taxes went up. Well, yeah, because there's city, county, university medical center, the school districts, and community college. All of them are part of your tax bill. So if the city holds theirs and everybody else raises it, your taxes go up. And people say, well, the city raised my taxes. No, actually, we didn't, but everybody else did.
So it will feel like it did.
Yeah.
Going forward, keep taxing at the same rate, cut taxes, give people a break, try and bring them down. Where do you stand?
I don't know that it's possible to bring them down, because we do have some commitments to police and sheriffs and public safety. That's most of our budget.
I think most voters would agree with that.
And that's most of our budget. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's, you're looking at 70-80% of our budget is public safety.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we have to start working as in more collaboration with the other people, and just go, we can share some facilities. We can share some school facilities for the city and vice versa. Mm-hmm. The schools are closing schools right now. I mean, we actually bought Moorhead.
Wow, yeah, that's right.
To do the animal shelter and the emergency shelter.
The emergency detention, not detention. Nobody was detained there.
No,
right?
But
that was so brief. They were only there for a matter of weeks, I think, right? We're talking about the immigrant.
Yeah, the migrant surge that we had. But one of the things is it's also an emergency shelter. Like, when Katrina hit and we had people in town, that would have been a place to put them. So it's going to be up as an emergency shelter no matter what it is.
So it is remaining an emergency shelter and a pet shelter.
And an animal shelter, yeah.
Yeah, and there's two different areas of the facility. That way we can have more of an animal shelter on the west side, and that's needed too.
If schools are shutting down, that makes me think, is the population decreasing? We're not getting smaller in El Paso. It seems like we're getting much larger.
Actually, the population in the last 5 or 6 years has been stagnant. It's been, either zero, a little below, but statistically the same for 5 years. We're not growing, we're not shrinking, we're staying the same, which means when we spend more money, we go back to the same people and say, hey, you get to pay more now.
Right.
Which is what the deal is, the more money we spend, the more money we have to go get. So.
Now, let's talk about one of the topics that I think a lot of voters do have a lively interest in, and that's getting some kind of arena that's going to attract concerts and shows and different things come in. The ones off the top of my head I can think of, the Sun Bowl wants to turn that into a much nicer, major venue. There's a plan for the former site at Cohen Stadium to have some partially covered indoor-outdoor hybrid pavilion. And then there's, I don't know, the downtown multi-purpose thing. Is anybody
That's still in question.
Yes. Does anybody even think that that's ever going to get built? What do you think?
Well, that's on the ballot this
It
year.
is on the ballot because we took a look at it. And by the way, in 2012, when you voted for $180 million, there wasn't enough money. It was about $100 million short.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where, I tell people, hey, if I told you for $100 I could get you a 20,000-seat arena, would you vote for it?
For $100
For 100
for me?
Yeah.
How many seats?
20,000.
Yeah, that's bigger than Don Haskins.
Would you do it? Would you do it if it was going to cost the city as a whole $500 million?
Well, wait a second. You just went from 100 to 500 million. Put it in like personal terms.
Personal terms is that would probably
$500.
No, closer to 5,000 or 6,000.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't even go to that many shows.
And well, see, but that's the deal is if you sell somebody something and then you go, oh, guess what? We were wrong. That's not that
It's actually
price.
going to cost you.
Yeah.
You said yes to 100, so we're going to charge you the 5,000 or 6,000 because you said you wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the concept that happened with the MPC or the arena.
Right.
And we're down to about 150 million left. And the question is, can we stop this and not issue the debt? Give back the money that we've already floated out, sell the land, and use it to help pay off the expenses.
I have got to ask you about this.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to ask about, because you mentioned the Cohen Stadium project that's going on, and that's a private-public partnership. I think Oscar was telling us about. Do you agree with public-private partnerships? Is it something that you want to encourage more?
I think we have to do it. It's the only way it's going to work.
Okay.
I mean, with the amphitheater, if they build it, it's their money building it, and any rebates they get back are what they've generated.
Okay.
It's like none of our money, tax money.
Yeah, but we've got to be giving them, abatements and things like that, right?
It's rebates off the taxes that they generate from that facility.
I see.
And if they don't do what we tell them, we put a clawback clause which says everything you've done to that point is ours. The land is ours. Everything's ours, and you can leave if you don't do what you said.
All right. I have to ask you about your mailer that went out. So, I've been getting a lot of mail from Brian Kennedy recently, especially the little miniature Brian Kennedy newspaper. Mm-hmm. You were a bodyguard for Prince?
I was one of about 20, and it was during the Midwest swing of his tour. I was born and raised in Minneapolis.
Oh,
cool. And if you look at the old
That's where Prince is from.
If you look at the old 1999 video, the guy with the rising sun on his headband, his name's Des Dickerson. I went to high school with him.
Wow.
So he was like, we need more guys, and Big Chick was his main bodyguard. I was just like bodyguard 14 off on the right-hand side.
Right.
But yeah, I did that. And
so many bodyguards for such a tiny little man.
He was so popular that late at night he'd go to some after hours club and
try
some music. So it'd be like we're taking the whole crew.
Yeah, you would need 14 people to cover Prince at a nightclub.
Professional poker player.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I was playing poker because I love the game, and I was in Vegas, and a backer saw me and said, I'd like to back you to play poker, and I'll cover expenses.
Some rich guy saw you and said, I like the cut of his jib.
That guy right there, I can make some money.
That's right.
Yeah. It was Andy Beal. Is the guy.
You got to tell me who Andy Beal is.
He's a billionaire that owns Beal Bank, and had a poker book because he was playing. It's called The Banker, The Professor, and the whatever.
Where would you play, on the New Strip or down at like Binion's?
Wherever there was a big tournament and lots of guys who were drunk.
Now, were these like in the casinos, or were these like more private places where some big fish would go?
Mostly in the casinos. I would go down for the big tournaments. I played in the World Series for like 12 straight years.
Right.
The WSOP.
Yeah, World Series of Poker.
Were you a sunglasses guy or not a sunglasses guy?
I really am not. I didn't wear a hat or sunglasses because I just...
He has a naturally good poker face.
We're talking about mayoral politics here, but I'm fascinated by this, so I'm only going to ask a couple more questions. It seems like some of the poker players do everything to just be as stoic, no emotion. They'll wear a hat down over their eyes, sunglasses. And then there are other guys who go the other way. They're just so demonstrative. Have you played with both kind of players before?
Yeah. I mean, I've been at the table with Daniel Negreanu, who's a talker and brilliant poker player. I played with Doyle when he was still alive, obviously.
Doyle Brunson?
Yeah, Doyle Brunson was there. I mean, we laughed because we both got knocked out of a tournament. And he said, hey, there's a private game upstairs, buddy. You want to go up? And I go, no. No.
5 languages.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. So this had to do with your experience working for, was it like military intelligence?
They sent me to language school. Mm-hmm. They sent me to Monterey, California, and Russian was my main language. And then the other...
Fort Ord?
Yeah, well, it was actually, it was the Defense Language Institute across the bay from Fort Ord.
Okay, all right.
It was right in Monterey. And so I learned Russian, and then the other Slavic languages kind of, fell off that, the Polish, Czechoslovakian, Serbo-Croatian. They all kind of are derivatives of that, of Slavic. And so,
are they saying the same language family?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, French and Spanish are technically
and then what
Romance
would you
language.
Do? Listen into
Yeah, tell us the military military secrets.
No, not any secrets.
I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. I will say this, that I was an interpreter interrogator.
Oh.
And,
oh my gosh.
And that's what brought me here. There was a lot of linguists here in El Paso, out at Biggs Field. There was a company full of all the different languages.
Wow.
Because we could fly from here to Dallas and go to Europe in a moment's notice, or we could go from here to California and go to Southeast Asia.
And radio DJ, did that only begin once you moved to El Paso, or you hadn't been in radio? But you were on KLAQ for like 15 years. It seems like maybe your career in radio didn't overlap with mine.
No, we kind of almost abutted each other.
Right. Because I remember who kind of like the big shots were.
When you started?
Yeah. KLAQ was huge, man, back in the day.
We were the Rio Trio.
The Rio Trio.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to ask about you coming to El Paso. You said you were born in Minneapolis, and I thought, wow, what would bring somebody here? But it sounds like the military brought you here.
They did.
Okay.
They did. And I unpacked my car, and I took my snow shovel out, and they said, what kind of stupid shovel is this? And I said, oh, good Lord, I found my home.
What are these chains for?
Wait, so then you really just loved El Paso, and you decided to settle down here?
I instantly fell in love with this place.
Oh, cool.
This is unlike, and I got to be stationed all over the world. This is unlike any place I've ever been.
With a military background, are we doing right by our military personnel that are in town, our soldiers? Is the VA, could it be better? Are you pleased with where that is right now?
Part of my being a lawyer is I donate 10% of my time to helping vets get their benefits.
Yeah.
I think that the community does great by our veterans, but I think that VA could do better.
All right. Well, there are so many things we could delve into here with Brian Kennedy. If they ever bring back the world's most interesting man for that beer, it should be you.
Joanna, Buzz had mentioned that he was a alligator wrestler. So
I made that up.
I know. I asked.
Oh my God!
I asked
you guys
Brian Kennedy about that.
I was like professional poker player, bodyguard for Prince, alligator wrestler.
And you asked him about
I was
that?
like, oh, tell us about the alligator wrestling.
What
He's
an
like,
idiot. All right. You got a final message for voters out there who want a good reason to vote for somebody for mayor. What's your best reason to vote?
Well, I was
Brian
just going to say that, I don't always listen to the radio. But when I do, I listen to Buzz Adams.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets for me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
I'm just going to say that, they know what they're going to get. I did what I said.
Yeah.
I said I didn't like the city manager.
Here's another thing. Became a lawyer at the age of
62.
62.
Wow.
Decided after all this stuff I've done, hell, I should just become a lawyer.
Well, it was a lifelong dream, and my wife asked me what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
So at 59, I went to law school.
All right, well, great to see you here this morning.
Good to see you, man.
Best of luck to you. Brian Kennedy running for mayor of El Paso. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Joey Medina's in town. Comedian Joey Medina, one of the original Latin kings of comedy, is here, and we'll come back with Joey right after this.
People hang on to their every word, even the prepositions. Hollywood gets its entertainment news from them. They are the most interesting morning show in the world.
I don't always listen to the radio, but when I do, I prefer this show.
Specials from the best craft beer and a special beer style. Learn more on Instagram at Tin Man EP.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
I hope this music is not too scary for some people out there.
Scooby-Doo.
It's time for Queen of Halloween trivia. Halloween is now an adult celebration. You know, when I was a kid, it was just kids.
Right.
All the adults did was stay home and pass out candy. But now it's like parties.
Yeah. Right. When I was younger, all you get is candy. Now you get STDs.
All right. Let's talk to our contestants today. Let me see who we got. Looks like we have George or Jorge, whichever one you pronounce it. Which one is it?
George.
George. Okay. Very good, George. So you get a question and you get 10 seconds to answer. If you don't get it, don't hang up, because if I don't get it, you still win. Joanna, let's have your Queen of Halloween trivia, please.
All right. Your question today is, which horror movie franchise featured a young Johnny Depp in one of his first movie roles?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street's right.
Yep, he's
I
right.
think he got sucked into the bed and then they just spit all Johnny Depp goo and blood all over the place.
And I just found that out recently. I was watching it and I was like, hey, that looks like Johnny Depp. And it is Johnny Depp.
George, real good. We got some. Yes, sir?
Thank you.
All right, hang tight for a second. Joanna, that was so quick. I want to do a couple more.
Okay. We can do that.
And I would have gotten that one too, by the way. Carlos is next. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Now I can. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? I'm not sure the connection is very good. Carlos?
Carlos is the invisible man.
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Very good. And you can hear me.
What's going on?
We
here?
need verbal
He's got
confirmation.
cricket wireless.
Carlos, do you have your radio on? That could be causing a lot of problems if you got your radio.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
here.
All right. Very good. You ready for your question?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Joanna, Queen of Halloween.
All right.
Give a question to Carlos.
The movie Halloween takes place in which fictional town?
5 seconds on the clock, Carlos.
Haddonfield, Illinois. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Haddonfield?
Haddonfield.
Haddonfield.
It's actually in L.A. I think it's in Pasadena. The house
Yeah.
is actually,
You're right. I think it is
like in
Pasadena.
Pasadena. Okay, hold on, Carlos.
Buzz, would you have gotten that one?
I would have gotten, like him, I'd have been like Haydenfield or Haddonville. I don't know if you would have given it to me if I got it that. Yeah. One more.
Nice job, Carlos.
These are Haunted House of Terror tickets, open tonight, 7 to midnight, tomorrow, 7 to midnight. Our Sunday schedule is 7 to 10, and we'll start doing more extended hours the closer we get to Halloween. You can get your tickets at the door, or you can win them right here. Let's go with Daniel. Daniel is up next. Hi, Daniel. Hey, Daniel. How you doing?
Buzz.
Happy Friday, buddy.
Happy Friday. How you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. We got 2 winners. Don't break our streak. We want a winner here. All right.
Try not to.
Queen of Halloween, do you have a trivia question for Daniel?
I do. And
All right.
because I want a winner also, this one is multiple choice. So
okay.
Psycho was the first film to show what on screen? Was it cross-dressing, a woman in a shower, blood, or a toilet? Well, I mean, it did show it showed all those things, I think. It did show all those, but this was the first time that this was shown in a movie.
Oh,
Do you want me to repeat the options?
Yes,
again?
please.
Yeah.
Cross-dressing, a woman in a shower, blood, or a toilet?
I want to say a toilet.
Okay, we'll go ahead and say it.
A toilet?
Joanna, is a toilet the correct answer?
That is the correct
Nice job.
I was already trying to figure it out, because I have to save it, see if I could get it. So, cross-dressing.
Would you have gotten it?
This guy named Ed Wood had made a movie a few years, I believe, before Psycho called Glenn or Glinda. And that was all about cross-dressing.
Right.
It was kind of like the reefer madness of cross-dressing. As far as blood, I'm sure they had to have shown a blood, all the westerns that they did and everything. They had blood had to show up. A woman in a shower. I wonder what the woman in the shower before, Janet Leigh. I almost said Tippi Hedren. They had women in showers before Psycho came out?
I guess so.
All right. You are a winner, Daniel. You pulled it out there.
Yeah.
Good guess.
Guys, I appreciate it so
Well
much.
done. Hang tight. We'll set you up with tickets, all right?
Alrighty, thank
All
you.
right. Enjoy that. You can use it this weekend. You could use it for the rest of the month of October.
Here's another fact about Psycho. The blood they use in Psycho, you already know this, right?
I think so. Chocolate syrup?
It was chocolate syrup.
because it's black and white.
The film was black and white.
Movies had already been in color for about 20 years, so this was like a stylistic choice that Hitchcock did.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they used it just
syrup.
looked better. Chocolate syrup looked better than anything else for the blood.
Movie magic.
At some of the early screenings, they would have a nurse stationed. And the idea was, well, this movie's so scary, some of you are going to pass out, so the nurse is going to go around with smelling salts.
That's funny.
All right. Congratulations. It's good to get so many winners there. Boy, you got Halloween, Christmas shopping. Got to get started here soon. You like holidays?
No, not at all. Groundhog's Day is my favorite holiday because you don't have to do anything. You just go, oh, okay, that's it.
Unless you're in Punxsutawney, and then I guess they all go out and watch the rat.
Yeah, I know it's like
oversized rat.
Yeah, my favorite animal like that is a beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mostly in the 70s, but
yeah. Well, they were hairier back then.
Yes,
that's for
they
sure.
were a lot heavier.
That's true.
Why were you in Aruba? Were you doing a show in Aruba? Or were you having a vacation? Or what happened was I was working on a cruise ship, and then we were going to go to Aruba, but unfortunately,
you got a clean show. They won't have you on those cruise ships.
Yeah, I do, and it's very difficult for me to do it.
I can't imagine.
Yes, I know. It's very difficult for me to do those shows. Yes, but then we were going to go. I was going to fly from Aruba back to L.A. A day earlier, but unfortunately, someone got a heart attack. And so the ship had to turn back.
Someone on the ship?
On the ship got a heart attack.
I would have figured that's like an hourly occurrence on those cruise ships.
Yeah, a lot of older people. And then we turned back, so we got to Aruba late, and I missed my flight. So they put me up in Aruba in the afternoon. It was cool. I got to hang out at the beach, have dinner, and that was nice. But the next morning I had to go to back home to come out here. And then they were going to fly me from Aruba to Miami, from Miami to New York. And I said, are you crazy? Right. That hurricane is coming. I mean, it'll be there tomorrow, when I was supposed to leave. So, thank goodness I told them that. So they flew me to New York. But it was still bumpy, and it was still...
You were still getting some of the hurricane
we were feeling the front of that hurricane. And so it was kind of a little weird, man.
Where I grew up, we didn't have hurricanes, but we had our share of tornadoes.
Oh, yeah.
And I always thought it was fun because you get to go down in the cellar, underground, and it was like being on an adventure. My dad would get the old portable black and white TV so we could monitor the weather, and it was like, man, I want more tornadoes. This is fun.
I grew up in San Francisco, man. We had earthquakes, you know what I mean? And those were scary.
Yeah,
when the house gets to rocking back and forth, or your mom is washing dishes and the water is swaying.
Oh, that's weird.
Run in and you go, Mom, it's an earthquake. And she goes, I know. And the cabinet door is opening.
It's like The Exorcist.
That's how I got into boxing, because I was watching her. She was like, oh.
Bob and weave. Yeah, good. But Florida got tornadoes, too. I mean, it was
the
weird.
hurricane made a bunch of tornadoes, is what they were saying.
Exactly.
I'm just so glad that global warming is not real. I'm just so glad.
Because things could go haywire.
Imagine if global warming was real, how horrible that would be.
See some comedy this weekend. Joey Medina, one of our favorites, one of our very good friends, too.
Yes, thank you. I love you. You guys are always great, man. I really look forward to, sometimes you're not looking forward to do radio. You're like, I don't want to wake up that early. Or, stuff like that. But when I'm in El Paso, I really look forward. This is part of the whole trip for me.
Well, that's a nice thing for you to say.
Thank you. It's true. It's very true.
Well, you were saying your Facebook reminded you of when you were here 11 years ago?
Yeah.
My Google photos just pulled up. It was almost the same year, same time 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Does
So that's
Bart
cool.
book you for the same week every year?
No, it's
just random. Yeah.
He actually wanted to book me for 2 months ago, but I couldn't do it. So this was like the first opening I had this week. So but I love El Paso. El Paso was the first road trip I ever took as a comedian. So it means a lot to me. The first threesome I ever had on the road was in El Paso.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, you were there. And,
it was you, Nico, and Puga.
The other guy. Yeah, that's right. That's why we love each other so much. I mean,
Eskimo brothers for life.
But wait, Joey, did you know Gabriel Iglesias was just here last
God.
week?
Okay.
You ever talked to Gabriel?
Yeah.
Gabriel made jokes about Buzz on stage, or called him out from the stage.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's more, okay, so...
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
So Gabriel's in front of like 14,000 people, right? And I wasn't there, but everybody tells me, he ripped you apart, dude.
Oh, God.
I hurt Gabriel's feelings many years ago. A couple of times.
Okay.
And he's never
forgotten.
Wait, the first time, didn't you say, like, how are you so fat if you're vegan? Or what did you say?
No. They put Gabriel, who's from Los Angeles,
right,
on a commercial for El Paso Water.
Oh,
and
our water company.
promoting
that's
water.
right. I remember
we
that.
got pretty good water. You know?
Right.
But I was like, it's talking about how healthy it is, and you need to drink this many glasses a day. And I'm like, if you want to get the health message out, why do you get a fat guy?
He said this to him.
Gabriel makes fun of himself being fat.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's really thin-skinned. I think he's just got a real tender heart, you know?
Right.
And then there was another incident.
Right.
It was over 20 years
The other incident was the whole show did a Deadpool that year.
Story.
Right.
Not the comic book character did.
No, you know where you bet.
Yeah.
So Buzz bet on Gabriel to die that year.
But in my defense, you get more points the younger the celebrity is, so everybody kind of balances it out.
Right,
You're
right.
like, well, Betty White, I might get like 11 points, but for somebody like Gabriel, I get 70 points.
Right.
Because he's so young. And I thought I was doing it as a callback to this pre-existing rivalry.
Right.
Oh, he took it a whole nother step further.
And I found out a couple of years later, somebody put me on their Deadpool list, and I'm like, that's hurtful. But he has not forgotten. The next time he's coming in,
that sucks.
Joey, I was gonna ask you, what was the first year you came to El Paso? Like, what year was that? Your first travel, like your first road gig? Was that?
Yeah, it was literally the first road gig was El Paso.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a lot of.
Gabriel says that his first
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I gave it
was
to
El
him. I
Paso.
got him the gig. So I know that's true because I got him the gig. Yeah.
They did a newspaper story about it. It said that he talked a lot about El Paso being where it all started comedy-wise at Bart's Club. So.
And Bart, to give Bart a lot of credit, he was the first comedy club owner to really start booking Latin comics. You wouldn't see Latin comedy before. I mean, you had Paul Rodriguez, who was the biggest Latin
biggest
guy.
breakthrough,
right? And then George came up, but Paul had a more of a universal appeal, I think. You know what I mean? And
AKA Pablo.
Yeah,
I
I
remember watching that TV
Yeah, me too.
show.
Me too.
Right, me too.
And then all the movies and everything, but Bart was the first comedy club in America to really put Latin comics. I mean, we're in El Paso, so it makes sense.
Oh, and Freddie Prinze was a huge star, but
Freddie was before.
But I don't think he was touring like places like El Paso.
No,
and
he didn't live very long either.
He wasn't doing club. He didn't.
Right.
You're right. But
he died
was doing
in 22,
big,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
But yeah, so El Paso really is, it's a groundbreaking. But El Paso, the comic strip in El Paso, is probably one of the oldest comedy clubs in America.
I think it's the first. Nico, it's the first club in Texas, isn't it? Isn't that the? That's
possible.
I'm not sure. I think it's the longest running club in Texas still. Like that's still managed by the same person. It's coming up on its 40-year reunion. 40 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
They had the Colonist had a comedy club in Old Jamestown. It was called Ye Old Chuckle Hut. So,
All right.
Wow.
Thank you guys for dropping by. We'll see you at the Comedy Strip all this weekend.
Yes,
Ralph,
sir.
good to meet you, sir.
You too, sir. I'll be back. Trust me, I will definitely be back.
Fantastic. Let's take a break. Nico has news coming up next right after this.
Hi, it's Chuck, and tonight at 11 on Loudwire Night.
iPhone 16 with unlimited new iPad. Trading terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Turn on that radio and back here.
So, it's been a long week.
I'm so ready for this week to end.
Ready for the weekend.
End of the week? It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday?
Ready?
It's a weekend! I heard that this show is like really good.
It's good. It's great. It's great.
Let's begin.
Do you happen to have the time?
It's showtime.
Yeah, it's time for the news with Nico and Jimmy.
The real show.
In about 1 hour from now. I'm going to go on vacation for a week.
Yep.
I'm going to go see my elderly mother.
That's so nice of you.
And it just so happens this weekend is like the biggest event in my hometown.
What is it? Your family reunion?
No.
The Hallelujah Hoedown?
No.
Oh, that was good.
The Great Okmulgee Pecan Festival.
Oh, snap.
Raleigh.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
time for that again?
Is it that time of year again? Pecans, a big deal in Okmulgee, Oklahoma?
Yeah, a lot of them. We had, a couple dozen pecan trees, and
okay?
we had to do them all ourselves by hands without any machinery at all.
Is that why that you always make us every year shuck the pecans, that you have a pecan tree in your backyard?
Yeah, you don't shuck them.
You don't shuck pecans?
No.
What do you do?
What do you do?
What are you talking?
Denut them?
Yeah. you
Denut.
crack,
Unshell.
That's right.
Yeah, so
I don't ask you to do that.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
I have pictures
of you cracking my nuts.
Also, you promised me nuts last year, and I'm still waiting for those.
Now you're driving her nuts.
Well, do you like D's?
I'm not answering.
I'm not answering that.
I got to drive, so I'll take off driving right after the show, or
You're going to leave right after the show? Well,
or right before the show ends. It just depends on
Right
how
as
quick
the
I
show
get up.
ends.
But then I'm looking at 14
14 hours.
hours.
Yeah, you're going to stop,
driving in a
though.
row.
You're going to stop.
I'm not going to stop overnight?
Yes, you are.
No.
You're not?
Yes, you
but
are.
You've been
No,
up
sir.
since what, 4?
Yeah,
Your
around
body
4:10.
needs rest.
You promised me you wouldn't drive all day.
No, I just found out somebody told me about this thing. It's legal, and it's called trucker meth.
Oh, I told you about that.
The person who told you was Nico.
What
What
is
the hell
trucker
is
meth?
trucker meth?
I think it's what they call all those herbal supplements they sell at gas stations.
Oh, they sell like at a trucker gas station?
Like those things that say that they'll keep you up all night.
Yeah, like I don't know what they're taurine,
I think
caffeine.
they're just loaded with caffeine.
Yeah.
I think they're just loaded with caffeine. I don't know. I don't want to be driving at
You could be
1 o'clock
freebasing.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Crush them up. So they
Freebasing some caffeine.
A couple of things I always look forward to. We don't have Alsups here, so as soon as I reach New Mexico Alsups, I
Getting
get
them
the
burrito.
world famous beef and bean burrito.
And world famous beef bean burrito farts. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go up. I think I might go up through Alamogordo because the fall colors in Cloudcroft are just spectacular this time of year.
Now you say that sarcastically,
No,
right?
I'm saying it's one of the best fall drives to see fall colors in the entire country.
Yeah, just different shades of tan.
No, you're up in the mountains, man. It's really over there by Mayhill on the other side.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
On the other side.
On the other side of Cloudcroft. All right.
Are you taking Sparky?
No.
Did you figure out someone to house sit and watch the dog?
Yeah, I got it. It's all taken care of.
Is it me?
It's not.
Because that was the last I had heard you would ask me to take care of Sparky, and I said I would.
I got somebody. Because you kind of check in and see a couple of times while I'm gone, but I got somebody who's
I go
actually
every
gonna-
day.
Okay, well, you're off the hook this time, buddy.
Is it your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, people.
Spanning the globe in search of news.
With our top headlines of the day, here's Nico Ajimian with news. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning, Boo.
In tragic news, the wife of Senator Robert F. Kennedy, Ethel Kennedy, died yesterday, according to her family, at the age of 96 from complications after suffering a stroke last week. Part of the family statement from Joe Kennedy III said, Along with a lifetime's work in social justice and human rights, our mother leaves behind 9 children, 34 grandchildren, and 24 great-great-grandchildren, along with numerous nieces and nephews. President Joe Biden called her an American icon upon news of her death. Ethel founded the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights soon after her husband's death, advocating for gun control and human rights. She rarely talked about her husband's assassination, though.
Her son, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., says that his mother's body is going to lay in state in Central Park.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah. Didn't land.
Oh, because of the bear. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't do the junior part, so it didn't make sense.
Her son, but I said her son.
You did, which is why I knew what you're talking about, but the conflict of ideas.
Her body is going to lay in state in Central Park because he dumped a dead baby bear in Central Park. God. I wonder if he's revving up that chainsaw yet.
He's going to put her on the hood of his car.
All right. That was the whale. One person was killed and 4 others injured during an accident at Colorado's Molly Kathleen gold mine. The trolley car that takes tourists into the mine was 500 feet down into the mine when an unspecified mechanical issue happened that led to the injuries and death. A group of 12 people, including children, were left stranded 1,000 feet underground after the incident, and rescue operations worked for much of the day to bring them back to the surface.
Tell me about, is this, I guess this is an attraction for the public? You
Yes,
can
it's
go on a tour of a gold mine?
Of an old gold mine. All of the people who were trapped have been rescued, just so you know.
Do they go down there like in a tram or something? Or
Well,
is
this
it like
says a trolley, but I have been to one of these. I think my parents took me and my brother when we were like 2 or 3 to we were in vacation. I don't know.
You remember when you were 2 or 3?
Oh, no, maybe 5 or 6. I don't know, actually.
And you went in a gold mine?
Yeah, because there's pictures.
Scooby-Doo style?
There's pictures on our mantelpiece of us dressed like little miners.
Zoink, Scoob, it's the ghost of the miner 49er.
And I don't remember a trolley. Maybe there was, but I remember nothing. You're right. Okay.
God, I wonder if this...
There's just a picture,
I wonder if this would be a fun thing to do. I mean, it just looks like a work site from here. So what happened? How long were they stuck?
12 hours. No, not 12 hours. Excuse me.
12 minutes?
Doesn't say how long.
Mm-hmm. But they got them all back.
They got them all back, yeah.
Oh, good.
They were brought up 4 at a time, and all of the survivors were given pizza to eat after their ordeal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because one person had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
they were in an elevator. So there's an elevator at Carlsbad Caverns.
Yes.
Because I will walk to the bottom, but I ain't walking back up.
Right? You don't walk back up.
No. You got to be like a marathoner or something. You're somebody really in shape to walk up. All right, what else is happening in the news?
All right. Disney World's open again today. The mouse out front should have told you. After
Disney World.
Yeah.
Disney World is opening.
The mouse out front
Again.
should have told you.
Is that funny?
Yeah, you don't get that? The moose out front should have told you.
The moose? Wally World?
Yeah.
Oh.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, that's funny. I get it now.
Did whoever wrote the news story you're reading, did they make...
Did you not write that?
Did they
no.
make a
Oh my
National
God.
Lampoon's American Vacation? What?
I think they did.
What's it called?
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah, just
Just
Vacation.
Vacation.
Wait, that you're like impressed with the writing?
Yeah, I thought that was you.
No.
That's John Candy. Yeah, the moose
The moose
outside
out
should have
front
told
should
you.
have told you.
Yeah. I'm not a real journalist, Joanna.
I don't think I would have caught that as a vacation
That is funny.
reference.
Well, it was funny to me.
The mouse outside should have told you.
Yeah. See, okay, I'm glad that got a laugh. All right. After closing for the last 2 days due to the approach of Hurricane Milton, theme parks in Central Florida, including Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, and SeaWorld, are planning a reopening today. The park assessed the effect of the storm and decided they were ready to welcome everybody back. Orlando International Airport resumed arrivals yesterday and plans to resume departures today.
Again, Buzz, Nico, again, man. My parents took me to a gold mine. Was it to see if it's comparable to the family gold mine? Huh? Over there in Fort Hancock, digging for all that gold for that generational wealth, Nico? Right, hey.
Stop it. There is no generational wealth. There is no trust fund. That was a vacation like thousands of people, including Chevy Chase, take
I think
every year.
Escargot as a child is a pretty big indicator of generational wealth.
First of all, it wasn't made by a butler or a chef. It was in my grandpa's little kitchen because my grandpa likes cooking. That's it.
Escargot.
Well, he likes French cooking, I guess.
Did he ever make any pâté de foie gras?
He did not.
Okay.
He did not. Generate, you know what? And it's like a touristy gold mine. Okay, you know what though? I get it now.
You don't even mean to do it. Like you do this stuff and you don't know, but this guy, the name on here is Daniel. So sometimes the name doesn't match, but Daniel always catches it. So when you were a kid,
let's
gold
talk about
mine.
Richie Rich over here.
I guess it does sound Scrooge McDuck-ish.
When we had a vacation, we went to my grandma's. When you had a vacation, you went to a freaking gold mine.
And then I would
a
go
touristy
home
gold
to
mine.
Grandpa's ranch and ride rose hips into the sunset.
Okay, you know what?
Knowing that there'd be a warm plate of escargot waiting for me when I got back.
What goes down usually goes back up, and that's true for the 30-year mortgage rate. After falling to its lowest level in 2 years, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage in the U.S. jumped to 6.3%. Last week, the rate was 6.1. You know, I don't even know if anybody pays attention to these, but 1 year ago, it was 7.5%. So, mortgage rates on the rise.
Here's what I hear when you do stories about the mortgage rates.
Yeah, but that's because you have a learning disability.
What if I really do?
I think you really do. You mix numbers up.
Then you should have been diagnosed at a younger age. But, adults are diagnosed every day with something different, so don't feel bad.
You have dyscalculia.
Yeah, he can't see numbers.
Yeah, if it's a page full of just numbers, good luck.
Also, if you don't keep his attention in a text thread, he's out.
Oh, I have the
even though he's the one that texted you first.
I know, right? I have the raccoon thing in news again.
Is there an update on that? Because I did the story. I did that in the true crime report.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, no update. Just I wonder why it came back.
Lady was feeding raccoons. She's been feeding raccoons for 35 years. And then one day she was surrounded by 100 raccoons.
Swarmed her house.
And they were getting aggressive.
And she had to call 911.
I mean, that's kind of...
They're like, where's my ham, bitch?
You're kind of asking for it.
That would be like Betty White in Lake Placid complaining about the giant alligator.
The alligator that she purposely fed.
All right, moving on. The Justice Department announced during a press conference yesterday that TD Bank will pay around $3 billion in penalties as part of a plea deal on charges of conspiracy to commit money laundering. Attorney General Merrick Garland said, well, let's just hear him say it.
TD Bank created an environment that allowed financial crime to flourish. By making its services convenient for criminals, it became one. Today, TD Bank became the largest bank in U.S. history to plead guilty to Bank Secrecy Act program failures and the first bank in history to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit money laundering.
In one case, a man presumably named Escobar moved over $470 million in drug proceeds and other illicit funds through TD Bank branches. He also bribed employees with over $57,000 in gift cards.
So what they're saying is the bank employees had to have known that this was against policy, like just big piles, trash bags full of cash being deposited, but they were kind of bribed with gift cards.
That's kind of suspicious. Huh. Take my money.
I need to call a supervisor. Do you like Bed Bath & Beyond?
There were piles of cash dumped on bank counters, ATM withdrawals 40 to 50 times higher than the daily limits, and deposits over $1 million in cash in a single day that were then moved with checks or wire transfers. 24 people have also been prosecuted for involvement in money laundering schemes, including 2 TD Bank employees. The company has agreed to a major restructuring of its corporate compliance plan.
As part of the plea agreement, TD Bank will fundamentally restructure its corporate compliant program at its U.S.-based bank, which is the 10th largest in the United States. The bank has also agreed to the imposition of a 3-year monitorship and a 5-year term of probation.
Joanna, your call did not go unheeded. We just got so busy when you said you wanted to hear people do the wah from Disturbed.
Oh, yeah.
You know this?
I want to hear your best.
That's pretty good. What was the story again?
Disturbed going on tour to celebrate that album.
Oh, and it's going to be a good lineup. Did you say 3 Days Grace?
3 Days Grace with original singer Adam Gontier, and then the other dates will have Daughtry and Nothing More.
Has he ever explained why in the middle of that Disturbed song that he just has this monologue about his mom? No, Mommy, don't hit me anymore.
What?
Oh, yeah, we cut that part out in the radio.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, the radio edit doesn't include that?
The radio edit does not include that.
Morning, man. Early bird here.
Nice.
I like to get down with the fitness too, baby. You guys have a good morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good one. I want to hear them.
Colostomy guy out.
Ooh, that was good.
Hey, nice colostomy guy.
We have a colostomy guy?
I guess so.
Colostomy guy out.
Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was real good,
Awesome, man.
guy.
We'll come back and you got some more.
You know, he
stories?
didn't pull that out of his ass.
You write that one?
Yeah.
That's good.
I did write that one.
We're going to have another cash code coming up here in just a few minutes. And the 9 o'clock hour ahead of us, we'll finish up with the news. And here's your late night roundup. Joanna puts this together before the show even starts, just so you can hear what the funniest moments from late night television were.
Ahead of Halloween, Mountain Dew released a new mystery flavor called Voodoo. Yeah. It's described as a mystery flavor as opposed to Mountain Dew's normal mystery flavor, Mountain Dew. New York sports are on fire right now. The Mets are doing great. The Yankees are doing great. And the Jets, well, the Mets and the Yankees are doing great. That's right. Mets fans are fired up. They're like, what is this feeling? It's like opposite sad.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Oh, what a ruin your life.
We are saved.
Visit Home Water Services at hws-ep.com today.
We're in position.
Come on, let's go.
And now, this is going to be good. Buzz. The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Yeah, the weekend's almost here. I've got these Coldplay tickets to give away. This will be the last pair of win them before you can buy them because they go on sale today. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. Got a few stories that I want to talk about. Amigo Air Show back in El Paso for the first time after 12 years. They had been doing the air show since like the early mid-'80s, and the last one was in 2012, but they've got together to put on the Amigo Air Show. It sounds like it is going to be as big as it was with chalets. The Canadian Snowbirds are going to be there, Canadian Forces Snowbirds. And Saturday and Sunday at Biggs Army Airfield inside the Fort Bliss Army Post. Gates will open at 9 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. And, it's been, they're like 12-year-old kids that have never lived in a world where there's an Amigo Air Show. And I feel so bad for those kids. Yeah. When you were a kid, did your mom and dad ever take you to the Amigo Air Show?
My dad tried once, and then I ended up going with my friend and his dad. So I've always felt really bad about
You
that.
went with someone else's dad?
I did, and so I wanted to take my dad to this one to make up for it. Like, I got you back, Dad, 30 years later.
It's probably not as big a deal with you and your family's fleet of private planes out in Fort Hancock, right?
We're not going to continue. I'm not going to play into this.
Gonna play.
I'm not even going to play this anymore because no.
Not having it, huh?
Yeah, no. I'm so poor.
Man, this is melt your face off metal from Colt, the masters of modern metal. Joanna, do you want to pick out a number and we'll give Coldplay tickets to that lucky caller?
Sure. Let's go with caller 11.
Sure. Caller 11. Make sure you're using the studio line here.
Did you forget the number?
No, I just had to listen to
We're getting to the best part. All the things you do. And it was all yellow.
Let's make it caller 11. Here's the number, 915-910-4995. That's 915-910-4995. And we'll set you up with these tickets for Coldplay. They're coming in June of next year.
Yep.
All right. Well, Joanna's wrapping that up.
I got some app chat messages. Would you want to hear them?
Okay.
Ashley says, question, if someone wins $100 with the cash codes, would they still be eligible to win the grand prize?
Don't know.
Okay. As a trucker, Buzz, do not take the trucker meth. Your
The
heart
caffeine
will stop.
pills?
Yes.
I'll just eat some beef jerky and a Mountain Dew. That stuff is loaded up with so many chemicals.
You'll be fine anyways.
Probably keep you wired for a week.
Texas Girlina says she did the tour in Colorado too. The gold mine tour.
The gold mine tour.
And it's a tour. She says they lower you in what looks like a cage hung by a large cable.
And that's the thing they had an issue with, and 12 people were stuck in the
I think
the gold
so.
mine cave.
Yeah.
I wonder if they let you mine for gold. They give you a pickaxe and you get to keep whatever you find.
Joe says, tell Buzz to look at his email from 2 days ago. I used the Q app in Rome and sent him a pic. Subject is the Q in Rome. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. He took a picture with the KLAQ app open on his phone in front of the Coliseum.
Oh, that's cool.
Not the LA Coliseum, the Roman Coliseum.
Wow, man. I think that's really, really cool. Rob says, I'm the Squidward when it comes to singing together for the SpongeBob song. I guess I sound like Squidward.
You do?
Or I guess Squidward doesn't have musical talent, I would assume. Or
he plays the clarinet very poorly.
Yeah, I guess that's why.
That's one of his things.
And then somebody says that, Duncan has always had breakfast, as long as they can remember. Really? That it is delicious.
It was a good egg bagel sandwich. Let's see. Oh, I got this story that, do you remember the charged lemonade story? Panera Bread has settled.
With the first element.
The first settlement.
Because there's
other people
more,
saying that their charged lemonade either killed their loved one or debilitated them.
Well, the one that I think, I'm not sure it's this one. So are you gonna get into it?
Yep.
Well, I was gonna say that there was a case of a girl who took it, and she specifically had a heart condition.
Yep, this is the one.
Okay.
So, and that's the one they settled with. Panera Bread reached the first settlement in a deluge of wrongful death lawsuits thanks to the since discontinued charged lemonade beverages. The lawyer for the family confirmed that a settlement was reached, and it's the family...
That family deserved a settlement.
Of Sarah Katz. Sarah Katz was a 21-year-old Ivy League college student with a heart condition since childhood, who died after drinking one of the lemonades. What's it charged with? Just caffeine?
Yeah, but like more caffeine than. It's not just like, oh, it's a little caffeine in your. It's like every drink had a ton of caffeine in it.
The lemonade drink contained 390 milligrams of caffeine in a large serving. And it's also contributed to the death of Dennis Brown, 46.
Well, so the thing about her case, which is why I think she deserves the settlement, is because her heart condition, had made it so she couldn't take any caffeine. She already knew that caffeine was something she couldn't take in any amount.
Okay, so let me read from the story, because you're about to say the stuff that's here. On September 10th of 2022, Katz A 21-year-old student at Penn drank a charged lemonade at Panera Bread. Having been diagnosed with a heart condition called QT syndrome, she avoided energy drinks and caffeine. So she was an avid Gatorade drinker, according to her family. Her family believes that she saw charged lemonade and thought that it was referring to electrolytes, similar to Gatorade. You know, Gatorade has electrolytes. It has what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
Well, you're right that she didn't think that there was any caffeine in this lemonade.
They don't have a description.
And they didn't have any signs or indications
before
that this had caffeine in it.
They didn't.
Yeah.
No, they don't serve the charged lemonade.
Well, I'm saying before this case.
Yeah, but
before
when
this
they
happened.
had the lemonade there, they didn't have any indication that said this has caffeine.
Oh, they
in
put
it.
up some after this case happened.
After the incident, yeah. But now they just don't sell it
So
anymore.
she really deserved that money if she had been avoiding caffeine because of that. And
so they were sneaky about it. It's like
at first because they didn't think of anything of it. They were like, "We're going to put this caffeine drink out."
Put caffeinated lemonade. Another guy died. The 46-year-old. He was from Florida, and
see the other ones. I'm not sure they can get away the settlement as much as because they did put up a lot of signage after this Ashley girls
this incident happened.
Yeah.
All right.
Woo! Dallas Cowboys! This Sunday, they play the Detroit Buzzy. Now, woo! Let's hear the kitties have claws. They're gonna scratch. Woo! Come on, Buzz, give me a woo!
I will.
Woo! Joanna, give me a woo!
Woo!
Nico. Nico.
What?
Come on, give me a woo!
Woo!
Yeah! Woo! Yeah! We're getting closer and closer to the Super Bowl. Woo! And thank you guys for being concerned about me. I'm okay. Definitely okay. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. Woo!
I gotta tell you,
he's okay.
we were a little concerned on Monday. We didn't get a call from Cowboy Guy, and the Cowboys had won on Sunday night.
And they had only been losing, so we hadn't heard.
When he told me, he said that he didn't want to rub it in everyone's faces that the Cowboys won.
That's the time to do it when you guys actually win.
And he calls himself a Cowboy fan. He doesn't want to rub it in anybody's faces. Somebody had a call. Do you remember earlier we were... Yes.
You guys are not going to believe who won Coldplay tickets today.
Jacob Esparza.
No.
Yeah, that was going to be my first guess.
That is a good guess, though, because he wins a lot.
Who?
Cocker.
5 points guy.
Oh, no
hey.
kidding.
Nice.
He was caller 11.
Wow. Congratulations, 5 points guy. Now remember, bring something to protect your hearing because it's going to get wild at the Coldplay concert. Here's a call. This was the Supreme Court is looking into the Biden ban on what are called ghost guns. Now, a ghost gun is not what the Ghostbusters use. What is a ghost gun?
A ghost gun is a 3D printed, usually a hard type of plastic polymer 3D printed gun that can be assembled from kits or downloaded via the internet and then printed out at home. And they don't have serial numbers, which means they can't be tracked. So if they're used in the commission of a crime, it makes it difficult to investigate.
Hey, this is for Nico and the ghost gun segment y'all had yesterday or today. That would be exactly the same thing as people who steal cars and get in car crashes. Nobody is having a, what you would quote, ghost gun that is legal. Unless they're building it for themselves. Only legal gun owners are building guns.
That is not true.
Yeah, that's not a good argument, man.
That is very far away from the truth because I know one of the people who was very much in favor of banning ghost guns was the father of a teenage girl who'd been shot. The person who shot her had gotten the ghost gun off the internet. He was a teenager. The daughter was a teenager. It was somebody who was not legally allowed to own a gun. So the idea that the only person building ghost guns.
Well, the only idea that that people can't build regular guns and not be legal. I mean, I'm sure illegal guns are being made, metal ones, all the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nobody else is building their own guns.
I don't think you're right about that, dude. I mean, look into that a little further. I wonder if it's like, do you remember there was a Clint Eastwood movie with Kevin Spacey called In the Line of Fire? And Kevin Spacey had made his own plastic gun because he was going to try and assassinate a president.
Yeah, it's like that.
If they have a gun that's illegal, they're committing a crime.
Yeah, so what's...
Yeah, totally.
So is this an argument in favor of ghost guns? I'm confused now.
I think he's talking about why we don't even need to regulate ghost guns. What he's saying is, well, if you commit a crime using a ghost gun, that's an illegal gun. So why do you need to regulate it? Why would you need anything? We need serial numbers. You need a way to track guns.
Yeah, you should be able to print off an untraceable gun, go out and kill somebody, and then
get away with it.
Get away with it. I don't think the caller wants that. I don't think you or I want that. I don't think anybody wants that.
Get over yourself, bud. You're a loser.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Nico, a retort?
Oh, was he talking to me?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess you're the loser in this call.
I'm sorry, I want guns to be tracked. I mean,
at least.
Yeah.
Right? At least.
We don't let normal guns be tracked. It's actually a crime if you file off the serial number on your gun, I think, right? You're the one with the gun. I'm not the one. That's an additional crime. And an example of that recently was the guy who was waiting outside Trump's golf course.
Yeah. He had filed the numbers off the gun, so they added that to the charges.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Buzz, you know why I love Halloween so much?
No.
I think it's because of you and the show and the KLAQ Haunted Warehouse, the parade, everything the Q does for Halloween. But one of my most favorite memories is like I said, my parents would take me to school when I was like 6 years old, and we would listen to the show, and it was back then it was Buzz and Patty, and before then my parents told me it was Courtney and Big Al Jones, if I'm mistaken. Anyways, maybe those brothers, rest in peace. But my parents would take me to school, and every morning I'd hear the Buzz and Patty theme song, and then I was trying to find that symphony or that song. You know what I mean, right?
I don't.
Because it would always trip me out, dude. Because my parents would drop me off at school on the east side. I went to Pebble Hills, by the way, elementary. Whoop whoop. And I would go into school, and they would be playing that same song on like the PA system throughout the speakers while we were all going to class and whatnot. So I always thought like they're a part of my school. I don't know. It was weird, dude.
I wish I knew what song you're talking about.
It sounds like a Mozart song.
Mind trip. Trust me, bro. It was a mind trip here.
All right. I appreciate it. And if we made any fond Halloween memories for anybody, it's very gratifying to hear.
That's so nice.
Yes. KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is open this weekend, so you got the Amigo Air Show, you've got some of the corn mazes and pumpkin patches opening too, and the KLAQ Haunted House, 7 to midnight tonight, 7 to midnight on Saturday, and 7 to 10 on Sunday. The KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is open at 13900 Montana. So head out, you can get those tickets at the door. If you're a little short on cash, look for discounts, but also I hear there's this place downtown you could go through it, and it is chilling, and it's free if you can break into it. It's called the Gateway Hotel, and it's right down there in downtown El Paso.
Don't encourage anybody.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that would be super scary, though, right?
Well, because of the crackheads, not ghosts.
Yeah, and, you might get scared by a teenager jumping out at you at a regular haunted house, but at this one, you could get bitten by an AIDS rat or something. Yeah. It's really scary.
Why visit a cliched haunted house this Halloween when there's someplace authentically terrifying? Downtown, where you can take selfies in front of abandoned storefronts, hear the screams of people finding broken glass where they park their car, and get chased by real-life zombies.
You got $1?
As for that lady with the scary face, she may not be a witch, but she is brewing something.
Want some meth?
Don't take our word for it.
Now, sure, we could have gone to the Y and let some teen in a wolf mask howl at us, but instead we took the kids to the abandoned JCPenney full of tweakers. It was awesome. Right, kids?
Yeah! So this Halloween, go downtown. A place so chilling, even the cops won't go after dark. Downtown is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For added terror, take the bus.
While you're working away, we're working for you.
His people. He's here. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
Here she is, Joanna Barba. Tell us all about the Hollywood Cheese May or the Hollywood Cheese.
I will.
Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Joanna.
Disturbed are celebrating the 25th anniversary of their seminal debut album, The Sickness, with an extensive 2025 North American tour. The outing will find the metal band performing the multi-platinum album in its entirety, plus a second set of greatest hits from the rest of their discography. The 34-date tour kicks off in February in Idaho. There's a few Texas dates, and probably the closest one to us is in Phoenix, with a date in May. The first 12 dates of the run will feature support from 3 Days Grace, featuring the return of the original singer Adam Gontier and Seven Dust. Well,
that sounds like a good rock show.
Yeah, the last 22 shows will include support from Daughtry and Nothing More. A Live Nation pre-sale starts
Just
Wednesday.
Daughtry, nothing more? Just Daughtry.
Just Daughtry and Nothing More. Live Nation pre-sale starts Wednesday, October 16th, and regular tickets begin on sale Friday, October 18th. The Sickness was released on March 7th of 2000 and has been certified 5 times platinum by the RIAA. The album yielded the mainstream rock radio hits Stupefy, Down with the Sickness, Voices, and The Game.
There you go, Nico.
Oh, nice.
Sounded like a macaque.
Yeah, everybody in our app chat, send us those voice recordings of you doing your best. Or into the neckline. Hit us with that neckline number, Buzz.
You're a macaque.
Somebody say the neckline number. What's the neckline number?
Yeah, sure. Neckline number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325. There's no prize for this. You're just doing it for fun.
I just want to hear it. Your Buzz may not play it, but I want to hear it. Just know that. Netflix is launching a live weekly variety talk show with comedian John Mulaney in early 2025. The new program follows Mulaney's previous live talk show for the streamer Everybody's in LA, which also had Richard Kind on board as the show's announcer. The show was kind of like a limited series for the streamer, and Netflix's chief content officer, Bella Bahara, says it was a great test to see what worked in the format. Everybody's in LA ran for 6 episodes in May earlier this year as part of the Netflix's A Joke Festival. The comedian will be busy working as host, co-showrunner, and executive producer.
Oh, good for him.
And he's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live later this season.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be one of these guys that ends up doing it once a year.
Just a returning host.
And I'll tell you another one. They had Nate Bargatze on again. He really killed it on Saturday Night Live last year. They had him come back, and he was so popular, he even redid some of his characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was he on this past week?
Was Bargatze last week? I think he was the week before.
Oh.
Cool. Do you know that I still get like calls from people who are like, I will not watch anything with that guy.
Okay, because he was just...
Such a bad interview.
He was not that great on the morning show.
There's one thing not being great. There's another one where you're like willfully, I'm going to do a crappy interview because I don't give a S about this guy. But after seeing his stand-up and seeing him, especially on Saturday Night Live, I can't help it. I'm a Nate Bargatze fan, even though he was a real dick when we did an interview with him.
Good news for the folks behind the upcoming Wicked films. The pre-sale numbers on day one for the first Wicked film were huge, making it the second largest day one pre-sale take of 2024, coming in just behind the day one pre-sale numbers of Deadpool and Wolverine. Wicked is also the best PG-rated first aid ticket pre-seller of 2024 and the number 3 PG-rated first aid ticket pre-seller of all time, behind Frozen 2 and 2019's The Lion King. Wicked hits theaters November 22nd, which is also the date that Gladiator 2 hits theaters, and many are hoping for a Barbenheimer
That would be cool. Yeah.
calling this one Wikiator.
Wiki.
Wiki. I don't know. It doesn't sound great, but
Gladiated?
that's what they're going with.
Gladiated? No.
Gladiated.
Have you seen?
That sounds like something else.
Either of you seen Wikipedia? Not Wikipedia. Wicked
on stage.
On stage, yeah, stage.
I've always wanted to see it, and when it came here, I couldn't get tickets, so I haven't seen it.
I've seen it 4 times.
But
really?
How do you know about it, Joanne? Did you read the playbook, or have you heard the song?
Because the play came here to El Paso.
No, but don't you know about the? You know about the plot and everything, right?
Oh yeah, because of Glee.
Oh, okay.
You will be popular.
You're gonna be popular. If your 4-year-old seems super psyched right now, it's probably because the Wiggles just released their new track.
Okay, original Wiggles fans, and I know this because my eldest is now 25. And he was a big Wiggles fan. So the Wiggles have been around a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not. Much like Post Malone and Beyonce, the Wiggles are going country. They replaced their big red car with a big red truck, and in true country fashion, they wrote a song about it. It's called Big Red Ute, which is Aussie slang for a utility vehicle. They look like a truck, but usually have a shorter bed. The freewheeling music video takes the Wiggles on a journey in their unmissable new ride with their furry friend Wags the dog. Decked out in cowboy hats, the band takes a trek across the countryside, embracing off-roading and, of course, some fresh new choreography. Would you like to hear some of the Big Red Ute?
Absolutely not.
If your 4-year-old is in, I'm going to show it to you anyway.
Okay.
If your 4-year-old isn't within listening distance, watch out.
Cruising in the Big Red Ute. It goes vroom, vroom, choo, choo, The Big Red Ute on the open road.
Cute, right?
Hot potato. Potato. See, I prefer their early stuff.
Also, these are different Wiggles.
No.
Yes, these are not the original
They don't have
Wiggles.
Jeff and Murray.
No, these are different Wiggles. Who are these Wiggles? Who knows? Well, finally, the trailer for the upcoming documentary Martha about Martha Stewart is now out. The documentary features Martha herself, in her own words, discussing her career from teen model to self-made billionaire, with a 5-month stint behind bars for the insider trading somewhere in the middle. But perhaps the biggest moment in the trailer is the revelation that Martha cheated on her husband, Andy. Would you like to hear that?
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history? If there was ever the original influencer, it's Martha. Young women, listen to my advice. If you're married and your husband starts to cheat on you, get out of that marriage. Didn't you have an affair early on? Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
Martha.
So this is interesting. They got married in 1961.
Yes.
They separated in 1987, but didn't get divorced until 1990, and she never got married again.
Was she the first billionaire?
No.
I don't think so.
But she was a self-made billionaire. She didn't inherit it or anything. But I think she did reach billionaire status.
The documentary hits Netflix on October 30th, and I can't wait to hear about Andy, which would be Martha's one and only husband.
I want to track him down.
I know, right? Do they ask him, like, hey?
Did you know Martha?
Did you know she cheated?
Do you know it was?
I didn't find out for 40 years.
It was.
He's
with
all like, what?
It was with an 18-year-old Snoop Dogg, though.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Well, that's it. Show's over.
What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right, that's the end.
And that's the end.
That's the end.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back Monday morning.
Hello, everybody.